Hey, Lauren. Can you hear
Hello,
me?
hello. Yes, I
Okay,
can
we're
hear
good to
you.
go. I've been having a little lag. As like I said, as long as you can hear me, we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, I
But
hear you.
shout out to everyone that's coming in. Shout out to the chat. Definitely wanted to, give Lauren a safe space to talk. So replay gang. If you have comments, anybody who's coming in, I just ask that you please be respectful in the comment section while Lauren is sharing um, her experience on Ready to Love. Definitely want to hear what she has to say. And I know this can being on this show and getting all this feedback from people that, are talking about you, it can affect your mental. How's your mental feeling now that everything's kind of wrapped up?
It's so funny that I feel like everything in my life has led up to this point. Like it's really not as hard as you would think. I've gone through this my whole entire life. So this is just like another level, but I'm actually doing well. It's been a year since we filmed. Like so it's you know.
You have to relive it, rehash it. We're gonna get into it. I'm glad you're doing okay because it seems like it can be a lot. Overall, I know I'm in the comments and I'm always saying what's on my mind.
Yes, you are.
It's like I don't care, but it's like, these are people and you.
Yeah, but you don't do too much, and that's why I do respect your platform. There are certain platforms that you just won't catch me in. You know how there's a way that you can express your feelings without being disgusting or feeling totally biased and just coming from a nasty place. So I appreciate the platform and all the reviews and everything you do.
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate you. And I appreciate you coming up here, especially given that you have your own platform. I will have Lauren's platform in the description for this video, and I'll
Yay.
try to get it up here in the comment section as well at some point. I should have done that earlier. My apologies, but
Thank you.
definitely. And I'll let Lauren towards the end again have an opportunity to share everything that you have going on. We won't be we'll be going and looking at the chat periodically, but I want Lauren to kind of get things out uninterrupted while people are coming in. Just a couple icebreakers. And I do want to say everything we're saying. This is just my opinion. I know people are trying to strike channels down. Listen, it's all alleged. It's allegedly over here. Please don't take my channel, please. So, what is your zodiac sign?
I am a Capricorn. I am
Oh,
your best friend or your worst enemy. Hello.
okay. But with Capricorns and I'm a Cancer. So, okay, I see. That's why I was like, okay, you know what? I like the energy and the vibes.
Mhm.
It's making
My
sense.
oldest son is a Cancer, and we adore each other. So I adore him.
Well, he adores you. Where is your favorite place to travel?
I love the Bahamas. I like Paradise Island. I like Nassau. It never gets old to me. Like just the blue clear waters, the food, the conch fritters. I love cruises, so I like cruising to the Bahamas.
You know what? I was supposed to go on my first cruise last year, and my flight got delayed, and I missed my cruise.
Oh Lord, I always wonder about that. Like, because once they leave, you can't catch no paddle, but you can't go.
Never
So
fly. They say never fly in the same day, and I learned that the hard way. So hopefully this year I'll be able to say, you know what, Lauren was right. The cruises are lit.
you have to just like you get to eat the whole way there to your destination. Buffets all day, spas. Like, why would you rather catch a flight than eat until you get to every destination? That's how I look at it.
This year, that's why I'm like, let me find a port where I can drive. Won't catch me slipping again. We just cruise there. But Bahamas, Caribbeans, love the warmth. So that's my type of vibe.
Yep.
Now, you are my fellow tall sister because I'm 5'9". So I understand how it
Okay.
feels to be a tall girly out here in these dating
Well,
streets. Do you feel like it's hard to date as a tall woman out there in Detroit?
yes, because that is one of my deal breakers, honestly. Like, if Ed was 6'4", we'd probably be kicking it right now. I am 6'4" with heels. I'm 6 feet. Like, I take a lot of pictures at events, and I just it makes me feel weird to have my arm around your shoulders and your head is at my boobies, and my kids are taller than you. So yeah, it is a big deal to me. That was a whole thing too. Like, is she worried about tall? Look, that's my prerogative. I said what I said. I feel how I feel. I even gave the analogy for people who don't understand our struggle. Can you imagine spooning in the bed with somebody and his feet are on the back of your knees?
Listen, I saw a meme one time and it said, I tried to date a man that's shorter than me, and it felt like I was cuddling with a backpack. And I was like,
Lord, no backpack. Yeah.
like I completely, so I understood why and I appreciated that your friends understood that for you, even though, height gate kind of
That whole
ran
scene
the
was,
whole thing, but
yeah,
definitely appreciate that your friends knew what time
yeah.
it was. Some men, not all. And I do think from what I can see, it does look like Vince is tall. But some men
Vince
do like
is
their height.
tall. Vince is tall. And I knew he was 6'2", guys. And I never asked my friends to ask him that. They were just joking. That was actually an icebreaker. That was the first question they asked, and was supposed to be smoothed over. And it wasn't supposed to be a whole deep thing. But I will say, along with the height, I had lowered my standards and said he could at least be medium ugly to ugly as long as he's got the height. So I am trying to work with what we got around here in this city. And you saw who I picked. So you see what I'm saying. Go ahead.
And that's why you don't ever lower your standards. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, have you previously watched Ready to Love? Did you apply for the show?
No. So I got a couple DMs from, I think, a casting director or two. And then people started DMing me like, hey, there's a Ready to Love casting call you should go to. And so the more I started hearing about it, I'm like, why do people keep saying that? And then the casting director is like, I heard you were one of the eligible bachelorettes in the city. Your name keeps coming up. So how would you like to apply? And I didn't think I was going to get picked, but I was like, sure, what the heck? What I've been doing hasn't worked. I don't have a lot of dating experience, contrary to what people think. I've had 1.5 boyfriends my whole entire life. I don't do good at dating. I don't have no game. I don't, you know what I mean? So I was like, this would be fun. I have to concentrate on dating people, and multiple people at once. I've never done that. So I was interested in how I was going to do. What was the second part of the question? Oh, so once I got picked, I had to go back and watch the last season. Like, okay, because I'm not about to be kissing and doing all this weird stuff on TV, and it's the OWN network. It sounds like it's mature, 30 to 50-year-olds. That's cute. And then I'm like, nobody watches it, so this is going to be my fun little experiment. And turns out it's a whole community out here of Ready to Lovers, and y'all watch it, and y'all got groups and all kinds of
No one's watching it until you came on the screen, and then you found out everybody's watching it.
Everybody. And somebody said 1.5. Explain. Let me explain that because I want to be clear. But there you go. 1.5 boyfriends. So I have 3 children, 3 sons with my ex, who was the love of my life at some point. My first love, my first everything. We were off and on for 13 years. Then after we broke up, after my deal breaker was done, I met a guy who lived in Vegas. And so we had a long distance relationship. And when I say half, it didn't last really long, but it was a relationship, and it didn't feel like a full relationship because he wasn't here. We were just FaceTiming and talking and in love, but it didn't. That's the half. It was, if you want to be technical, okay, yes, that was a boyfriend and a relationship. But I say 1.5 because it just didn't feel like a real situation when they're not with you all the time. So that's what I meant. That's what I mean by that.
I'm glad you cleared the air because we know some of your castmates have called that out as well. We'll get into that later on. So thank you for clearing that up because I was wondering what's that half about.
I was, and then it's like when you're in a relationship for so long and this is the love of your life, you think after you're done, you're not capable of loving anybody again. That's it. Your life's over. And then, so when I met that guy, it showed me like, oh my God, your heart still works. You can still like somebody. You can fall in love. So that's the significance of having that half, or you can say 2 if you want to be. But I explain why I say 0.5, guys. So
yeah, and it was good. I feel like it served its purpose. Long distance can be hard, but I do think it sounds like it served its purpose where it got you out there again to let you know, like, hey, it's not over. There is somebody for you. That's what you want.
Yeah.
And so, and you're gonna find that. Now, I do have a question because when we first met you, you had all the gentlemen doing this little spin. What was that why was you making everybody do that little spin? What was that about?
So, and I'm being transparent, y'all. when I said I don't have dating experience, I'm not going to lie. What typically happens is when I'm out, I really don't have to say much. People kind of just come, they do their thing, and I either receive or not. I do have fun when I try to approach people and I do stupid stuff like bump into them, like, I'm so sorry, but that's like my icebreaker. I don't have any game. Or I'll say, hey, is your name Alex? And they're like, no, it's John. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. I thought you were Alex. Like, I don't have, like, that's my conversation starter. So when Xavier and Darius, and these are guys that obviously I was not attracted to, guys that I didn't know what to say. And when he's like talking to me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you look good. Do me a little spin around. I mean, and guess what? And I hate saying this because I'm not a name dropper, but some of your favorite people have done a spin around for me, guys. I'm just being honest with you. Some people have the personality where it's not that serious. It's not attacking their man. They're laughing like, what? Okay, now you spin around. So it wasn't. I didn't want to be disrespectful, and I have apologized to Xavier since because he is a really cool dude. He's a good dude, and I knew that he did not like that. We even had a scene in the skating rink where we literally was like, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, we're not a match. We're not a match then. Then we just walked away. But I apologize to him for that because that wasn't I'm a funny, light-hearted person. I never looked at it like that. And then Darius, of course, you tell Darius to spin around. He's so he takes pride in from head to toe. He gonna do that spin around. And he did it. And he had no problem with his manhood, nothing. It just depends on the personality of the person. But I was doing a spin around because that's the thing that came to my mind. Do a swirl for me. I am used to being a little controlling too. I'm not gonna lie, in relationships. And it's like, what could you do for me? Let's see how far I can take this. And that was a little bit. Let's start with the spins. I already don't like you, so can I control you? That's kind of how I felt in that situation.
Well, see, I appreciate that, the accountability. I don't mind speaking on that. I feel like Darius would have did a little spin whether you asked or not. And wait, can you clear the air with Darius? Because both of y'all said that y'all work together in the past. You're in the fashion industry. You cross paths. Do you mind elaborating on that?
Yeah. So I am the former executive director of the Detroit Fashion Community. It's a nonprofit organization where we raise a lot of money for different causes. And I would throw a fashion event every single month. Darius is definitely a fashion guy in the city. So he has graced a couple of my events with his presence. The extent of us talking would always just be, hey, thanks for coming. Let's snap a pic real quick. Thank you for coming. And he supported the cause. And it's not just mine. It's a whole organization. So there's several people. He wasn't there to see me. And so once we got on this show, I'm like, oh, Darius, and we actually became friends, or I hate throwing that word around. We're very cool now. I've gotten to know him. We ended up throwing our premiere party together. Him, myself, and Ashante put our brains together. We've worked on things like that, but we didn't have we didn't do business together before. But he supported some of the things. But we are cool. We have never had a romantic relationship. I don't look at him in that way. I see him more of like, if you could say like a brother or a cousin, and I get a kick out of Darius, but I've never in my life felt attracted to him in the way of a woman should feel about a man.
Now, did the producers have to make you, because I know y'all did go on one group date. Mm-hmm. Did they have to have y'all go on that group date knowing that because I could tell there wasn't any, romantic chemistry between you. It didn't give that. Why would they make you go on a date?
I think that it was, can we talk about this? I don't know. I think several times, I think that they thought Darius was the one for me, honestly, from the beginning. He kept pulling me to the side. Even the first mixer, like we need to talk. I'm like, Darius, I already know you. I know you. I want to move around. Like it was a lot of like forcing like you and Darius to be a thing. A lot of guys, we're not going to be a thing. And I'm sorry, guys, it's not going to be a thing. So we did have that group day. I saw when Devon was there. What the fuck? When Darius was there, I'm like, what are we doing here? And so I just did, okay, let's have this. I'm here to try to get to know people. So let's have this date and let's see what happens. But I didn't feel chemistry at all from either of those gentlemen on the date.
Now, do you, and I told you I got a lot of questions for you, but this just came to my mind. Do you wish they would have had, allowed y'all to go on more one-on-one dates instead of all these group dates? These have to be the most group dates I've ever seen on a Ready to Love season.
I do. I really do. Because then it would make more sense as to why people were connecting with who they were connecting with.
Yeah, so hopefully, the producers, y'all can relay a message, take notes. We want to see actual, because you pop up at the last 2 episodes and you have a connection. It's not making sense to us, the viewers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just a takeaway for them. I know they mix stuff up all the time. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when you first got to the mixer, who were the men that you were initially attracted to? Like, just off of, the vibes and what you were seeing alone, who would you have picked off that first meeting?
So, first and foremost, I knew that once I got there, these were probably not going to be guys that I would typically go for. So I prepared myself mentally. If you ever seen that movie Shallow Hal, like we got to put the Shallow Hal glasses on, and I want to see just who they are on the inside. I don't care what they look like. That's how I went in there. Like, get to know these people. And so when I went in there and I actually spoke to every single person, the only person that kept trying to get time, he was too busy, was Chris. But the nose ring had already made, and gotten to know him since. He's such a sweetheart, and dang, he's awesome, and he can cook. But that made me just right. So after the first mixer, it was Bellow number 1, Steve number 2, Ed number 3, and then Vince number 4. And that was just first impressions of just our conversations. And Bellow, again, I don't know if you ever heard me talk about Bellow. I have, how you got a list of things to do. Mm-hmm. I wanted an African man. And when he started talking with his little accent and he had the African vibe going on, I was like, there he is. So that was strictly physical attraction. I wanted that so I could cross that off my list, right? So that was already going into that with the wrong reasons. And you learn a lot during the process. So Steve, I'm so attracted to the opposite of me. Like, I'm so loud and out and about. Steve is so quiet and in the house. Every time you call him, he playing his guitar. And it's like, oh, Steve, you're a history teacher. Oh my God, I just want to come at home and watch like Star Wars and Ghostbusters and all that stuff. So I was attracted to Steve, just quiet and laid back. Big, beautiful white teeth, chocolate skin. I used to have a crush on Tay Diggs. And then his personality was so big. And then Vince, I'm not gonna lie, he was the goofiest guy I had ever seen in this process. So off of physical, I was like, oh no. And he looked like the history teacher when I first saw him. But it was his personality. He was I hate to use the word aggressive because they keep talking about that. Like, you don't call a black man aggressive. He was aggressive in a positive way at this time, is like in your face, like, look, hello.
Yeah, he's interested. Yeah.
And he would cut into conversations and say the same thing that I was thinking. Like, I would ask Bellow something and he's tripping over his words. And then he'd like, say it, man. The answer is this. And I'm like, yeah, exactly what Vince just said. So I could tell I was attracted to how direct he was and all the things he was saying with everything that I agree with. So that's how that.
Direct makes sense, because I know a lot of ladies said he was so funny, and I have not laughed to this day. I mean, I haven't heard anything funny. I don't know what y'all are laughing at, but I don't know what he said that had y'all cracking up. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know what, man.
I do want to shout out this super chat, and I want to say hey to Sandra. Oh. P.S. Jen Extra. I'm sorry, I'm messing up your name. This is another fellow YouTuber. She does do reviews as well, so be sure to check her out. Now, our question was, have you closed the door on dating? I'm going to save that for the end.
Okay.
We'll come back to that, so hold tight. We didn't forget about y'all, but I want to acknowledge that before it goes away. Now, it was kind of quiet for you for a few episodes. I almost forgot that you were there. They weren't showing you for a while until they did. Mm-hmm. But when you went on that group date, it was with Ashante. I think it was like a cooking date where Vince kept yelling, like, I'm not even gonna say what I want to say. He was just yelling knife or sword or whatever. He kept yelling. Yes, shark. Oh my God. Ugh. He was making me laugh, child. But anyway, you told Cardi that, he spoke on you being a mother, and you really made it clear on how you make time for yourself. You make yourself a priority. You don't want to just be wrapped up in being a mom. You have an identity outside of that. Yeah. And I loved that. How were you able, and are you able to still manage that at this time? How do you manage you?
I am so blessed. I always tell everybody I am a single woman. I am not a single mother. I do not do this alone. Their father is very, very involved. We split literally everything down the middle. Time, like if there's 365 days in a year, whatever half of 365 is, that's how much I have them, and he has them the other. So, I have plenty of time. Like they left yesterday. No, what's today? Left yesterday. They'll be back Monday. Then it's gonna flip. You know what I mean? So when I'm with them, I'm with them. And then even on days like today, I went to the game, even though it's not my day, but it's like, I have been blessed to be able to have the free time. So even when I like try to date people, they never meet my kid because I'm seeing you on my kid free days. And then I'm getting back to being a mom when they're here. So just that alone is how I'm able to manage doing my own thing and still being a mom.
Yeah, and I love that. Especially people they underestimate the co-parent. That's actual real co-parenting. Co-parenting was thrown around a lot this season. I noticed, and it's like you're seeing somebody 2 times in their life. That's not co-parenting. That is co-parenting. But no shade. So, how did you feel? Now, that's just a good little segue into that. How did you feel learning that Bellow had a small infant child in Miami off of a one-night stand? When you first heard that information, on top of seeing that he was using Beijing, how did that?
Oh my God! What is that? Ever since the day I saw that, I in my mind, I'm like, I kept saying, why don't you do the ball thing? You know, like the more chef.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would just say it over and over, and eventually he did do it. And then Ashante told me, like, I've been saying the same thing. And then a couple of weeks ago, he texted me, which I didn't know he was married at that point, about a month or two ago. He's like, I got this interview. Should I just shave the hair? Shave the hair. Don't even ask me anything else. Yeah, shave the hair all the way off. Go bald and put some Vaseline on it, or whatever you do. Make it, I don't know, shiny, but don't leave us don't leave that hair like that.
The bald was the best decision, and he should have done it a long time ago. But it's okay as long as he's doing it now. Well, it seems like he bought the hair back. Why?
As long as his wife love it, I like it. So they ain't got nothing to do with me. Here's the thing. I'm a parent. I have 3 children. I did not marry my kid's father for my own personal reasons. We just weren't going in that direction. That's a whole other story for another day. When he told me he had a child, remember I said I don't have a lot of experience dating and knowing the right things. I'm just myself. I need to do better for sure after this experience. So when he said, I got a child, she's only 6 months or whatever he was saying, I was like, could you excuse me for a second? And so I got up and moved around, and he even said, he tells that story too. He's like, I thought she wasn't into me. He came on my podcast like, I just really thought you weren't into me after that. I just needed to process for a second because I'm like, what the? And then when I talked to him a little later about it, I was like, so tell me the situation, because I feel like I'm a professional co-parenter at this point. I've been through I know the beginnings, the middle, the end. And he's like, no, she's cool. And in my mind, I'm like, this is her first time being a mom. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, how are you paying for things? Well, she has an Amazon cart. Sometimes it's $1,000 every month. I'm like, that's not sitting right with me either. She just in here just adds to the cart. You don't got no kind of like. I didn't like the way he has stuff. So I'm like, why don't you go set something up so that you have, you know what I mean? So because I'm thinking down the line, like, she gonna be like, we gonna be taking care of her because she got by you after one time. Was it really one time? And how reckless? I just had a lot of reservations. And then he told me he wanted more and more kids. And I don't.
Yeah, because you said you have 3 children. How young is your youngest?
6.
Okay, so you're like, look, I'm done. Like, I'm good to go.
12 and 6.
We'll see. Oof. Yeah, and trust me, I'm with you on that one. I got 2, and you could not pay me, especially a baby. And they say I was gonna say the baby's under 5, the relationship's still alive, but it wasn't never no relationship.
Or so we think, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't there.
But I'm glad you did, because a lot of people, when you had that conversation, they thought that was the first time that he announced he had a child. But I remember him saying at the mixer that he had a child to Dominique. So I know he's mentioned it to somebody before. So because it seemed like that was your first time and you were cool with it. So it is good to know that you had questions.
Oh God, the way they edited this is so. I just like, but it's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
got
and
questions.
we know we can't show everything. That's why we talking about it now.
Yeah.
And y'all in the chat, be sure to like the video. Thank you for dropping in. You know, keep commenting. We'll make sure we get to them. Now, B word gate. And I hate, I just, I don't even, but it has to be mentioned. We don't even have to go through all that again because we all know what's going on with B word gate.
Mm-hmm.
You regret forgiving Vince for calling out your name? Do you think you should have held on to a grudge a little longer?
No, no. Because I do want to kind of rehash it, right? Oh, thank you. A little bit. So that I can tell, because like a lot of people are out here being shady, talk about, well, I'm not used to being called a B, so maybe she used, or maybe that's what she. And so let me explain, okay? Like from what I heard, him and the guys were having a chat, off camera, no hot mic, nothing. He said it basically, and I know y'all heard the story probably, like somebody's like, oh, only person Lauren want is you because you tall or something, and he's like, what? Because the B is tall, but she's also beautiful, smart, this and that. And of course, some guy, a lot of these men, I feel like were ladies, went back to the ladies. Oh, girl, he called Lauren a B. And then you go to the main craziest lady psychopath, and she goes, okay, yeah. And then he's talking about that crazy, that dumb B don't like whatever she said. I'm like, Lord. So after talking to Donna, after talking to Darius, after talking to Bellow, they all told this. Well, Donna just vouched for him. They told me a similar story. So in my mind, I'm like, and after getting to know Vince, they don't show all this. Vince has a potty mouth, just regular. Like instead of just saying hi, is how you motherfucking doing today? Like he wanted like them uncles that just for no reason. So even when we dated afterwards, he would say cuss words on the dates. I'm like, Vince, I'm a lady. He like, oh, my bad, my bad. So it's like I knew that he wasn't saying Lauren's a B or B word. I knew that it was one of those things like, and I'm not making excuses. He definitely should have not have used the B word. But I'm from Detroit. We got cookouts, cousins, uncles. As soon as I see my uncle, what the is up, man? That motherfucker over there. And then I like to use the example of just being on the phone with your girls talking about that motherfucker. You're not about to walk up to him like, you motherfucker. That's the talk that should have been kept private. I wish he would have never said it, but I forgave him because I do not feel like he was being malicious towards me.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I mean, I'm sure a lot of us have done it. I'll speak for me. I might have been like, that ninja there, that whatever, but you're not supposed to find out about it. It's like once I know and I'm aware of it, like, so and it's like the fact that he did it, and it's like never knows the competition. I think he was forgetting like this is a competitive dating show, so they might be saying, "Hey, Vince, she the one for you. You the tallest one here," and really, whole time they plotting because they trying to get at you. So it's like I wish he was a little bit more mindful, and I hate that because it just went on and on. But you talk to him, you feel comfortable as long as you're okay with it.
He could never say it again. He's never done it again. I've never heard it again. I think some people, if he continued it, that would have been terrible. But I feel like he genuinely was like, dang, I did not realize that's the effect it had.
Darius explained it, and we know him and Darius don't always see eye to eye. I said, okay. But we know that none of them had a problem with it. But hopefully that's a takeaway from like, hey, especially if it's somebody you're interested in.
Yeah.
It's like start off that way. But but I tend to curse a lot too, so I understand. I ain't gonna hold his feet to the fire too much longer. I know he's just tired of hearing about it because I'm like, oh gosh. Whew.
Yeah.
Now, I skipped over a question. I'm so old school. I write stuff in my notebook. When Bellow became one of your top connections, you began having some tension with Dominique. Do you feel that she was being a mean girl? How did you feel about it during the process of filming, and how did you feel about it like looking back?
I feel like she was a mean girl since day one. And I'll tell you the first moment I figured it out. Because I feel like all the ladies were, when we first met each other in a room together, I got good vibes. Everybody was beautiful, smart. I was like, this is gonna be fun. This is great. There was a moment where Bellow and I were sitting on a sofa talking, and she came over looked, rolled her eyes, walked away. Then we just continued talking. She comes over like, you still over here talking? I mean, come on, you coming with me? And he's like, and he's looking at me, and she's grabbing his arm off the couch, and I'm looking at him like, nigga, if you can't tell her to go away, then just go. So he got up and went with her. And I could tell right then, like, that was so nasty, because even when you're put up to, hey, go snatch him away or go interrupt, the way I did it, I'm like, excuse me, can I slide in? Or, hey, can I join y'all? It was never like, you still over here talking to her? Like, it's like, what is this, the Bad Girls Club? Or are we 30 to 50-year-olds on the Oprah Winfrey Network? And then after the second mixer, when people were threatening to leave and all that, that's when I realized, oh, there's some things happening here, some arrangements, some agreements. Some people are in cahoots, and I'm threatening that because I'm out of the loop. So that's when I really figured out, like, oh, this is definitely a mission to take Lauren down. That was it. Yeah, it was crazy the whole time.
And at first I was, I'm like, okay, Dominique's territorial. But that for a while, it gets to a point. So, I definitely, and then you noticing that early on, because I didn't pick up on her being a mean girl really until the getaway. That's kind of when
Editing.
Yeah.
I mean, I dealt with it the whole
time. Was on Basketball Wives. Now she was on, I stopped watching by the time she was on. I didn't see her season. But it's like, normally, there's not always so much friction with the ladies. Sometimes there has been. But it's like, I was surprised. The ladies are not getting along.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I remember it got to the point where one time, because they do serve liquor almost on every scene. And during a ladies' lounge, I decided not to drink that ladies' lounge because I knew what time I was on at that point. And I was like, I'm not going to be drinking. So I'm the only one in there. I bet nobody noticed. But I went in there like on some like, and I was not drinking the whole time. And I saw the clip, and I just looked like I had an attitude the whole time, and nobody would notice why. But I'm sitting there like looking back and looking at everybody like
scoping
what's up? And I remember one time, like during one of the ladies' lounges, we had to wait outside, and I said, Dominique, everything good? She's like, oh, girl, wait, I'm good. And I called her a couple times. I heard we got a problem. I ain't got no problem with you, girl. I ain't got no problem. So it's like, I've done my due diligence. I've tried to figure out what's the issue. Because during the show, I did not realize 100% like that's what was going down. I realized it like, wow, that's really going down. Like, guys would come to me like, she said somebody told me you ain't like my flowers. I never said that. Somebody told me that you said you ain't like none of us. I never said that. Somebody, like, they was really throwing salt in the game, trying to make people not like me. It was bad.
Yeah, especially if it's like, okay, because we know what happens in the lounge never stays in the lounge ever. But it's like your name just kept coming up more than everyone else's. And I just wasn't sure what that was about.
Oh, it's a thing, a real thing.
Yes. And then I'm sure when you watched it back, that might have given you the confirmation, like, okay, I know I wasn't tripping. I can see it now.
For sure.
I definitely want to give a shout out to Monique King. Thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you for everybody in the comment section. I appreciate all of y'all showing up and showing out. Shout out to Miss Sabrina Soul. She's a former Ready to Love cast member from Ready to Love DC. So, and I forgot about this. She had an issue with the ladies herself of the Brown Girl Squad, and then the Light Skin Girl Squad, something like that. So I forgot that it could be a thing. When we fighting over the same small selective men out here, I guess it's starting to get competitive.
I'm like, wait a minute. Are we these ones? Okay.
These are the ones because if we all were
yeah. And one of the things I was hoping is because I thought all these ladies were just good women, and I was excited to see how quick they would follow somebody and hop on, because there was like a right-hand wingman. Then it was just a couple little minions. It just was like so obvious. It's like nobody has a mind of their own, a brain of their own that's going to say this ain't right, or let me not do this. I just was so shocked that all these educated, got everything going for themselves. It's just like, dang, that's crazy, So
yeah. So you kind of felt like not to speak for you, but it's giving a vibe of it started feeling like high school all over again.
I mean, super high school. Super high school. And I just hated that. I hated that. I just expect more for women pushing 40, 45, 50.
Especially when it's like we're all not now. I can see, okay, maybe Dominique's getting territorial because you both have an interest in Bellow. But if everybody's in on it, and it's like we all don't even like the same men, what is this about? I just, especially when it came to the reunion, and we'll definitely get there.
Okay, let's get done.
Because
they had me in a separate dressing room by myself, and all the other girls shared a dressing room.
Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, we need to get there because the season is kind of like whatever. It's like the reunion is what all the best actually came out. Now, a lot of the guys, it's like, okay, so they seem like they had other ladies as their number one. Like you're in the top, but they all seem to kind of have somebody as their so-called number one. Did you stay because they were telling you something different behind closed doors? Did you ever feel like I should self-eliminate? What made you kind of want to ride it out to the end?
So they were telling me something different. And even like, I'll give you an example of the way that my edit went. So I get, okay. Just know the show wasn't supposed to end the way it ended, but there was a change, and now I'm a side chick. That's what happened, okay? And I can't go too far into detail, but I saw the edit once things changed, right? Basically, like I'll give you an example. The conversation I had with Bellow at the house. Steve and I, we were under the impression that we're coming in here to get closer with our connections. We didn't realize people were coming in already there, you know? So when I had the conversation with Bellow, I noticed like Dominique's bags, his bags are in Dominique's room. And so I said, so in that conversation where it makes me look like this thirsty, are we a connection? And he's all like, you got to show me. I said, the part that's cut out, I said, I heard your bags are in Dominique's room. He's like, oh, what? I didn't know that. I'm getting them out. I'm not sleeping in her room. I said, you know my boundaries, right? If you sleep with her, anybody sleep in the bed, kiss, all that, we're done, right? He's like, of course. No, I'm getting my stuff out. You know, his stuff was removed. A bunch of crying happened, a bunch of stuff. All of a sudden, his stuff is back doing whatever. So they didn't show the part where I'm literally like setting my boundaries. So long story short, I was done with him after the house. Done. Why I was on that brother date, I can't say. But I was done with Bellow after the house.
And I'm sure he probably knew it too, because it seemed like the brother got the inside scoop. Now, did you know that he rolled to the getaway with Dominique?
At the time, I think so. Yeah, because they yeah.
Okay.
They did. Yeah, I knew.
I was like, for him to say, oh, I'm not sleeping in her room. And it's like, well, y'all were riding together looking pretty cozy. So
yeah, because even Steve and I rode together, but he's one of my connections. He was my top connection at the time. So who else? Cardi. And so everybody rode with a connection, but that didn't mean that they were at the level of what was happening. You know what I mean? So, and I also like to point out too that when people are getting physical on day 2, when people are consummating their situations on day 2, it's really hard to compete with that. When the rule is you shouldn't be seeing anybody outside the process. And I myself was adhering to that rule. Hardly. I'll speak for myself. I was adhering to that rule. So think about this. All the connection you have with Lauren is phone calls and talking and kikiing and seeing her every time we film. You over here sleeping with this person since day 2. How can I compete with that? Like, how can I, what do you want me to do? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to compete with that. Like, and some of these people, I don't want to come after that anyways. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you want me to do?
A little early. Oh my God. I knew it was happening because we could tell when Ashante said like, hey, you know, I'm a little late to the party. I'm obviously a slow burn. And it's like, wait a minute, day 2, it's never been allowed. So it's like, okay, we know people are going to date. And that's why half of the action is never caught on camera. But day 2 is wild.
Yeah, 2 couples, day 2. What you want me to do?
Right. Because at that point, I feel like people should be allowed to say early on, like, hey, this is my person. We're locked in or whatever.
And
or were you not allowed, if you wanted to self-eliminate, were you no longer, like when Steve got eliminated, were you not allowed to say like, hey, I'm ready to go? Or did you have to see it through?
so so up until after the house is when I realized I don't want any, oh, well, let me be clear. You know how I started with Bellow as my tops and Vince was at my bottom?
Mm-hmm.
By the house, Vince was at my top and Bellow was done, right? So if you're all the way to that episode, there's not much more to get through. So all of my connections have fizzled out except my connection with Vince, which they didn't show enough. So it looks like I'm flip-flopping when I really had the same, like literally Ed went fat too soon. Plus he was short, right? Then I found out that Bella was, doing whatever he was doing. Then I found out that what bothered me about Steve, up until that point, I was team Steve. We talked 3 hours a day. We were kicking it hard. What bothered me about him was that he would tell me behind closed doors, you're my strongest connection, blah, blah, blah. But when we're in public, literally nobody knows we're together. Nobody knows that we're what we are. You're sitting over there, I'm over here. People holding hands. He, like, one of the times we were they were blessing the food. He had his head down and he was holding my hand and Ashante's hand, and I winked. I looked up. He was rubbing both our hands like this while we was praying.
Oh,
you gave four of those little plants out. Like, at this point, Steve, what you're saying and what you're doing, that's pissing me off. So now you're done. So he was done. So it left me with one person, because I genuinely was going through this process like I thought you were supposed to. Meet all these people, pick the ones, narrow it down till you get to the one you want, versus, and they say, oh, she was just playing games. Playing games is, I locked in on you in the beginning, so I'm going to fake these other connections so they can vote on me so I can stay to the end. To me, that's playing game. If you knew that you was effing this person's day too and this is who you chose, why didn't you guys leave the show? Why, if this is not a game to you? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't self-eliminate because I still had a connection with Vince, but I was done with the other connections. And me and Steve didn't leave off on bad terms. It's just, now I know you could not be my person, because too quiet and too laid back, and you need to be, what do Dominique say? I need you to stand on business about me. So that's how I felt.
Yes, because I mean, the way he reacted when Shannon left, I was like, wow, why didn't you just keep Shannon?
Because he didn't like Shannon. Sorry, guys.
Union, it was hard because it's like, it's a little contradictory. I couldn't tell.
Let me tell you about Steve. I feel like we've got to know each other quite a bit, and I feel like it was more so friends. But I remember walking into Steve's room, and he loves sunflowers, his favorite flower. There was a dozen sunflowers in a box on the floor next to his bed. He tried to kick them under his bed, and I was like, "You got a surprise?" He like, Shannon got me these. I was like, what? He's like, and she wrote me a love letter. I was like, Steve, when did that happen? Well, what's going on? He's like, I did not know we were this deep. I don't know what I did. I mean, yes, she's a connection, but and he was so, and I remember when they tried to make him do the elimination, he wouldn't talk to me. He was, first of all, this whole experience, he is like, so one, he does not want anybody to get their feelings hurt. He does not want, so when that happened to her, he was so, like, first of all, I don't know if you knew, she was running around. Bellow told me this. Bellow's one of the ladies. He told me this, Lauren, when you and Steve were gone or whatever, Shannon was going up to every door, putting her ear to the door, trying to find you guys and see where you guys were at. Then recently, Steve told me, Lauren, you know the reason why I took you down to the lake? I thought you was being romantic. He said, I looked up in the window and Shannon was looking out down at us through the window. I said, oh, hell. Like, I'm telling you that Steve is a nice guy that did not want to hurt her feelings. I have nothing to do with their relationship. We're dating all different each other. I don't have a problem with none of the ladies that, because y'all dating a person that we're all supposed to be dating on a show that we knew we was coming on to date other people. So I never had an issue with Shannon. So I'm telling you this because this stuff really, really happened. So Steve,
I'm not too surprised, because she was cutting conversations that he was having with Donna, that we did see that on camera. But now you did say that, and I'm going to jump in just a little bit because we are talking about Steve. you were sharing on a reunion, like, hey, he told me behind closed doors I was his number one. And it felt like immediately after he said, okay, I wish I would have went with Shannon. I would have spent more time with Shannon. How did you feel about that after you said, hey, like you told me I was your number one? That's why I was crying. That's why I was upset when I had to eliminate you. And he's like, yeah, I should have picked you.
Okay, wait, let's move. Hold on. Let's break this one down in two. Let me explain why I was crying, y'all. Because I was in love. So when I said I got to know Steve on a like you know how you find things out about people, and then I found out so much, and I'm just like the things that the nasty things that were spread in the lounge when it came to the reason why Steve got let go. It was some nasty stuff that came out about him because from the ladies, and I felt, and it's like y'all don't even have to go there because they knew he was my connection. They were mad at him because they thought he was the reason Shannon left. So they said some really disgusting things. And I didn't know that they weren't going to put those things out there. But when I got to eliminate him and I had to give him feedback and tell him some of the things that were said about him, it pissed me off. And so I was like, because I'm like, and you've been nice this whole time and you don't deserve that. And you ain't did nothing to nobody. Like they just, the way they clipped it made it seem like, oh, Steve, you're leaving. And it was more so I'm pissed off about the way this shit going down. So that's what it was. And I knew he was ready to go anyway. That's why he's like, all right, you ready to go? And left out. And then the part where you're talking about, he said he would do another trying to be nice again. Because have they dated in real life since? Come on, it's nothing but space and opportunity. Why y'all not dating now then? But
are they? I haven't heard anything.
So what was, and I knew that when I had to tell Steve, like, Steve, I'm actually dating Vince now. And even after he knew it was after the show, I'm dating Vince. And because we've been friends even after he got eliminated, we've been cool. I support his music, all that stuff. So once I told him that, I knew he was like, oh, that's not gonna be a good look, Lauren. I can't believe you. It's like he wasn't upset, but I could tell I'm not gonna say he was in. I could tell at that moment he was just like, I don't want no parts. And so I feel like when he went on that reunion, the fact that I dated Vince for real, and I think that has something to do with him saying, yeah, I wish I had
trying to say
Steve didn't like. I think so. I really feel like it has something, and that's why I'm just sitting there like, I get it. Because how you gonna come to me and tell me, guess what? I'm actually gonna date Vince in real life. And it's like, what? Okay.
Because I felt like, okay, maybe he does like Shannon, but it's like, why didn't you save her? Or even with Vince, it's like, okay, well, maybe you really do like Donna, but why aren't you committing to her and just leaving it open and dating others? So, there's a lot of, I feel like a lot of them like to leave the door cracked just in case they can try to come back. And I don't know, I wish y'all ladies
don't want to look bad. He didn't. I don't think he was bad. I think he liked Shannon. He assumed she was a sweetheart, but in real life, it's nothing but space and opportunity. Right? What? Just date her if you want to date her. Why not?
Yeah. And after that, I'm like, because the reunion was, so how long ago was the reunion filmed?
March 2025.
Okay, so almost a year ago. So yes, plenty of opportunity. Now, did you get along? I know you were having issues with Dominique. Did you get along with any of the other ladies?
No, except Ashante. I spoke to her the most throughout the whole season. I didn't care for anybody who was sitting around. To me, you're guilty. If you just sitting around knowing what's going on and being a part of this, I don't fuck with none of y'all. I will say during the reunion when I was by myself in my own dressing room and all the ladies were in their own dressing room, Nicole had reached out to me and called me on the phone from the other room, like, girl, I just figured out what's going on. Are you okay over there? Are you good? I don't know. Like, I don't know if she was, I thought she was being genuine by just saying, are you okay? But I don't, like, at this point, I don't know. Going back to I don't know. But I was just like, all y'all could just go to where y'all gonna go, because
at this point, it's hard to know who to trust. I'm hoping that she was genuine, especially because she, didn't have the best edit on the reunion either. So I'm hoping that it was just a genuine reaching out, because why are you in there alone? That's
pissed me off, clean off. I'm like, oh, I see exactly. Like, this is crazy. In your mind, you think it's a thing, but no, this is a real thing, y'all, that's happening to me. Like, y'all gonna bully me? It's crazy.
Or at least the producer should explain, like, hey, to set you so you won't walk in there blind and unsuspecting.
They had a talk with me, like, yeah, this is just to keep,
Right, but it's like I gotta be on the stage with these people. Whew. Thank you. Tina said she's new to the channel. Thank you. If you're new here, you like the vibe, be sure to subscribe. Lauren has a channel as well, and I'll be linking that in the description. So be sure to like the video, y'all. Keep dropping. If you have questions, drop them. We'll make sure we get to them. Now, at the reunion, we already know that your name came up quite a bit. Do you feel like the castmates or some of them kind of orchestrated these scenarios, or to kind of make you the villain? Why do you think? Because I was surprised even when Ashley mentioned it, and it was like, okay, now you're calling Darius. I was like, wow, your name is coming up a lot. Do you think that was like pre-planned?
I'm about to change my name, by the way. But no, yeah, 100%. I think they all were like, okay, guys, this is the plan. We're all gonna say Lauren's name. How you like? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, I was so because like what y'all also didn't see, my name was brought up one more time, but it would have been overkill if they would have added that part. And so after, I don't know if we're going to get to this part, but after I had the talk with Donna, told her I was dating Vince, blah, blah, blah. She left that coffee shop, drove all the way to Dominique's job, because I forgot who told me the story, frantically like, we need to talk. And Dominique comes out, and she like, Lauren been dating Bellow. And I literally, a whole year, and I mean, like 365 days, have not talked to Bellow. Ignored 3 calls from him. Like, so when she got on stage, and the timeline, let me explain, guys. I hadn't talked to Bellow since the last filming when he eliminated me, all the way up till the March 2025. Even after that, it was a whole year before I even answered Bellow's phone call, is what I'm trying to say. That's how much I was not with Bellow. So when Dominique gets up there, before she got into her whole dramatic monologue, all that, she was like, so everything was going good. They all had the same story. Then all of a sudden, Donna comes up, tells me that Bellow talking to Lauren. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I have not talked Bellow. He's like, And then she was like, were y'all talking? He was like, I mean, I think I called her 1 or 2. I said, you called me 3 times. I ignored all 3 calls, moving on. Bullshit. And so then she stopped the whole storyline because, like, what else we gonna say here? Like, keep it moving. Right. Stop. It was 100% intentional. 100%.
Yeah, that's up, because it's like, why are we even, especially for Bellow and Dominique, it's like, there's bigger fish to fry. There's bigger fish to fry over here. Okay, well, you said it got brought up one more time. So was there any other time? What was the issue? Now I'm curious. Like, what did we miss? Why are they bringing you up again?
I think just Ashley, Dominique, Donna, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
Was there one more? That might have been it.
Okay. It felt like a lot. So it's like I felt like it was more than the others. I'll say that. It seemed like it was a little bit more than everyone else's.
And can I make another point real quick? And everybody on this show was calling everybody on this show. Like catching up and hey, blah, blah, blah. What we doing for the premiere? We all called each other. So for them to just focus on Lauren called, it's like, I don't even know if somebody in editing is friends with the Mean Girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I started to feel like, y'all not going to even be, like, y'all just really going to try to paint me out to be this, so it's, everybody was calling everybody. I mean,
right. It always happens. I mean, we got Sabrina Soul in here. She was a cast member from a couple seasons ago, and it was going on then. So it's like, it happens every season. But it's like, I just didn't like how they were making it seem like, okay, you're just thirsty and trying to talk to all these men. And it's like,
you're not calling to date these guys. Like, you're not calling to be like, Darius, can you take me on a date? Or Cardi, like, that's not what we were, you know what I mean? That's the way they painted it. Like, I'm the reason people's relationships wasn't working. It's crazy.
Yeah. And you may have heard me say it because I mentioned it on one of my reviews, and I know you support the channel. So y'all make sure you please support Lauren. I'm going to actually put her link for her channel in the comments too while we're talking.
cute.
What made you give Vince another opportunity? And do you think that you should have, or do you think you kind of should have just left it alone?
And are we talking about another opportunity after what? Because when I say I gave him opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, at which point are you talking about? Are you just saying in general, just
Yeah, I mean,
why?
Why? Not really. Was it
I
more than one for what?
mean, after the friends date, after the Donna situation, after this, like,
okay. So after filming, when y'all started dating again, you let Donna know at the coffee shop. What made you give him that opportunity then? Because at that point, he said that, I believe he had an interview and he said that he told you that he has picked Donna. And then he said they were open to dating people. In that moment, you knew he picked Donna on the show. What made you say, okay, well, but now that the show's over, I'll continue dating you?
So, and this is something that, again, the edits played in his favor because, first of all, you got to make Vince very much more mild since he's going to make it to the end. So he's using that to his advantage. Okay, number one. Number two, I knew they didn't show. I knew how much Vince liked me, how attracted he was to me, and how disappointed he was. Who told me out of his own mouth, like I was so like Lauren, and then I just caught you staring over me, looking right at Bellow, and it just made me feel like, and I'm like, I know a classic case of let me go somewhere where it's safe. Let me go where I know it's 100%. And I knew in my heart that's how I felt, right? And let me just also say that I saw the interview that he did the other day. 2 days before the reunion aired, I blocked Vince. We got into an argument. He said something very crazy that I can't overlook. And I knew at that point, because he said to me, "You don't want to make an enemy out of me." I took that as a threat. Oh. I knew from that point forward, any interview he does, anything that he goes and says, he's going to try to downplay whatever. He's going to do his best to try to because of that. And I'm fine with that because the truth is the truth. Okay. So if that's, you know, and honestly, I'm glad that I saw that interview because it's like, you still question like, no, like this is the character of this man to go on and talk to these people and don't be honest about it is crazy. So, you asked me why. So basically what happened was I told him because I haven't seen him outside the process or nothing. I'm excited. Choosing day is coming. Once you get done, we can hang out. This is exciting. Finally, I can see what Vince is like outside of here. I'm up. Me partying with Ashante. We having a ball. We drinking. Then finally, I'm like, oh, choosing day is over. Hey Vince, where you at? He like, I'm downtown. Sweet. Pull up. We about to go to the rooftop. He pulls up. Hop out his car, got his little nice red hookup. He looking good. I'm like, oh my God, come on, we have to go to the rooftop. And he's like, and I'm like, did you choose that? He like, I chose Donna. I'm like, oh well, fucking have a nice life, whatever. And I walk away. Literally, the next day he texts me like normal, like good morning. The next day, text me. Good morning. Like it's the next day, FaceTimes me. At this point, I'm irritated because now you're playing with me. Right. I call him after that and say, Vince, do you understand that you just picked Donna on national TV and you're still calling me as if things are normal? And he says, hold on. That's what okay, let me explain. Me and Donna had an understanding that when I leave here, I am single. I am dating multiple people. We are not in a committed relationship. And in my mind, the back of my mind, I'm like, you know what? There were so many people on here playing games. There's so many people on here just trying to get to the end. Stuff is not real. This is real life. So I said, let me talk to a few of my friends and I'll get back to you. He's like, because I want to continue dating. I want to date you. I go out, call my friends. A couple of them are like, hell nah. And a couple of them are like, you always giving up. You don't never just see it out. He ain't got no woman. He dating, you dating. What's the problem? And I'm like, you know what? Sure. Call him back. Bad decision. But I call him back. I'm like, Vince, that's fine. I can date. I think maybe that night or the next night, it was hanging out date every other day, seeing them, gyms, freaking movie theaters, restaurants, bars, talking about I don't like to go out. Okay. Like it was a ball. I didn't
even.
It was to the point where it didn't even seem like Donna existed, let alone anybody else he was dating. But I'm one of those people that's like, I know my arrangement with you. You are not my man. We are not sleeping together. We ain't even kissing. We're not spending the night. So unless you're my man, I don't really care what else you got going on. As long as when I call, as long as when I want something, I'm fine. And that's how it was. That's why that whole narrative that Donna created and the girls talking about she stalked her to her coffee shop. It's like, I could see if it was like some psycho moment where it's like, I'm in love with Vince and I want to find out what's going on with Donna. It's like, you won't, why? You're not messing up nothing I got going on with Vince. What do I need to stalk you for? Like,
I was seeing that and I was just about to ask you, what made you even tell Donna at the coffee shop?
So let me just be clear. Donna is not my friend. We've never been friends. I don't ever want to get it twisted because I heard that somewhere or something. That we are not friends. We never were friends. We did go to the same high school, but she was a year older than me, but we were never friends. Okay. However, during this process, we've had a few conversations here and there. I think I liked her after Ashante, who I actually liked for real. I think that we had conversations. We shared a room together at the Getaway. So we were cool. We did a good job because we both had the same two top connections, the Vince and Steve. And hers was Vince and Steve. Mine was Steve and Vince at the time. And we kept it cute. We never got too into details about things, but I feel like there was a certain level of respect there, right? So when you're in the real world, right? Like, I'm not doing the calling a chick like, what y'all got going on? It's like, that's not me, right? If I wanted to, I would have called her. I would have said, hey, Donna, can we talk? Or I would have been like, hey, can we meet for coffee? I just want to catch up. Like, if I wanted to see Donna, I am a direct person. I would have made that happen. Okay. So it's like I don't know, just to create that narrative pissed me off. But I forgot. I'm sorry. Did I go around the question you asked me?
Man, I think the only thing that like lost me when she mentioned that was when she said you told her, okay, and Vince is one of the people I'm dating, and she said, and I thought you knew. Okay. And it was like, well,
tell her. Yeah. Okay. So here's what happened. I'm an entrepreneur. I actually have a blog, accesslauren.com. You can go and see I frequent coffee shops a lot, all the cafes. I got an article that says top 5 coffee shops in the city. I have been going to this coffee shop for years. I even put like on my review, like screenshots since 2022. I've been going to that coffee shop, right? It's funny because this is how much Vince don't give up, right? That morning, I got to that coffee shop around 8 a.m. That morning, I was on the phone with Vince. And I was like, yeah, I'm about to go work from the coffee shop, said the coffee shop name and everything. After I found out, he knows that she goes to this coffee shop too. So I hadn't heard from him. Normally he FaceTimes throughout the day, talk throughout the day. And so once I got into the coffee shop, pulled my computer out, I'm starting to work. Donna walks in and I said, and I believe in signs. I believe in all kinds of stuff. So it's like, what are the odds Donna's here?
And she's like, hey, never seen her before and now you're seeing her.
Never seen her before. And she's like, hey girl. I'm like, oh, hey girl. I'm like, the way she just hey girl me, I don't think she knows I'm dating Vince. This is weird. And I'm not a fake. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be kikiing over here talking to you about the experience. Do you? So, hey Donna, how's it going, girl? Oh, we need to catch up. Okay. I was like, I think you want to go grab some martinis. And that's probably why it's one of her favorite spots too, is a whole bar there. So she's like, oh, it's about to be one of them conversations. I'm like, yeah. So she get us 2 espresso martinis. We sitting down talking, and I'm like, are you aware that I'm dating Vince? That's news to me. I'm like, ooh. Next question. Were you under the impression that you guys were not dating exclusively, that he was dating other people? Yes. I just didn't know he was dating you. I get it. Now, I'm one of those people that's like, so that's the thing that's between them. Like maybe he should have had that conversation with her, like, oh yeah, and I'm dating somebody from the experience. That's something that he should have been transparent with her because they have that relationship. They're not together, but my relationship is with Vince. Her relationship is with Vince. 2 different relationships. Okay. Meaning dating, guys. I'm not talking about a real boyfriend-girlfriend situation. So that's why I felt the need to to say something because I don't want to sit there and be in a person's face and they don't know the situation. Now, this is where Vince got pissed off. The way he tried to play Nicole, talking about, yeah, I hung out with Nicole. What you mean you hung out with Nicole?
Yeah, it was more than hanging out.
What are you talking about? You hang out with
quiet. Yeah, he wanted everyone to kind of keep quiet.
I'm not that person, honey. We ain't signed no NDAs. I'm a grown woman. If you didn't want me to run into Donna, why didn't you say, "Oh, I heard it's the coffee shop downtown. Why don't you go this way?" I wasn't under the impression that Vince thought I was a secret ever. We done been out in public so many times. I still got people talking about where Vince at. You know what I mean? So it's like Vince. So now I'm the bad guy. I'm being messy because I'm a grown woman, Vince. You play those games with somebody else. You like, right. So now that's why he's downplaying because he thought I was messy by telling her that. Anyway, so he could F off with that. Talk to somebody with low self-esteem. Don't talk to me. So I was just like telling her everything. She explained to me in depth some things. And I want to be very clear why I decided that I did not want to deal with Vince on a personal level after that point. I have no issue with Vince up until this conversation because he has not lied to me, right? I asked Vince after we started dating, are you sleeping with anybody? No, not since before the show. Since before the show, wow, okay, I'm cool with that. And when I meet with Donna, she tells me, well, are y'all kissing? I'm like, no. Well, y'all sexing? I'm like, ew, no. I told him, and not until after I see the show. She like, I was like, he told me he wasn't sleeping with nobody. She's like, wow, he gonna really lie on me like that? For real? We've been sleeping together since day 2. She said, I'm in love with him. I'm not going nowhere. She said, I live a couple blocks from him. And when a woman tell you that and look you in your face and say, I ain't going nowhere, I don't want those problems. You can have them. So I end up going to his house for the very first time inside his house that day to break it off with him because I wanted to. I don't know. I just felt so like, oh, I'm coming over. He's like, okay. I come over. I go. Ooh.
How did he even have the time? Because he had you, her, Nicole, and whomever else y'all don't know about. And
that's a good question. So let me tell you this part. This is what pissed me off. She knows the conversation that we had with each other, which was very transparent. I thought was a private conversation. And I thought we were two mature women having the conversation. Mm-hmm. When she got on the stage and said, I question a woman's worth or how she loved herself. And I'm like, did you see? I kept it cute during the reunion. Something over me. I don't know if this guy was like, just be quiet. She told me in that conversation at that coffee house, she said, dang, I knew he was being distant from me and being, not being the same. And I just didn't know it was because of you. He didn't answer the phone last night. I'm like, yeah, he was hanging out with me last night. So to get on that stage and portray that Lauren was some type of side chick. And it's like, you told me out your mouth. She said, I'm buying him things. I'm sleeping with him. I'm cooking for him. And he out here courting you. Wow. You said that out your mouth and got on that stage and tried to make me look like that's what pissed me off.
And she buying him things and he offering to buy Ashley stuff. Ooh,
he's generous. He's bought me things. That's just, and the thing, Vince is a gentleman when you go out. Vince pays for everything. He opens every door. He's the gentleman. He's a fun time. And it was one other thing I wanted to mention, but I think I just forgot it. And when she was like, and she said she was gonna stop talking to him, and then I got receipts that she didn't. Let me be clear. When I said I was gonna stop talking to him, I meant, you know how you can just move somebody from this is a person that I'm interested in, potentially getting with, sleeping with, whatever, and then you move them to it'll never happen because now I found out what you are, and He was a liar, and that's why I decided he lied to me. He didn't lie to you, Donna, because you knew the situation, but he did lie to me. He told me he wasn't sleeping with nobody, so now I know he's a liar. So I'm done with him. So we continue conversations here and there all the way up until 2 weeks ago before 2 days before the reunion, because we're cool at this point. We done been to the sauna, we go to lunch, but we're never gonna, he just couple weeks, come over, I want you to see my new mattress. Never, it's never gonna happen, Vince. So to get on there and try to downplay stuff is crazy. And I got all this stuff I could drop, and my friends are like, don't do that to yourself. You're right, I want to forget this ever happened.
Yeah. Friends, y'all need a little talking to though for that terrible advice y'all gave. come close. Because why would you suggesting that you give him a chance? No. No. I didn't know that Vince was this much of a player. I know he was a player from the hip. I would have never guessed. I see why people are giving him a chance because they wouldn't have known. But for him to now, we all in these YouTube streets had an idea that he probably, allegedly, not allegedly, but allegedly slept with Donna. But day 2 is where I'm lost.
And
she didn't
I can't make this up.
Though. Like, I just didn't understand why it was like the heat was so strong for you. And then we found about Nicole, and it was like, you don't have the same energy for Nicole too.
Hello. And she actually got to get a bite of the Snicker bar. And I didn't. I'm over here hungry. I ain't had no Snicker bar about 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want that Snicker bar? That Snicker bar is for the community.
Well, listen, here's the thing. The pictures I got in my phone, this is the funny part. Me and Donna had the same screensaver. And it's Vince with no shirt on. Like, Vince from here down is, listen, I was.
So that's what I'm missing. Because I'm like, what is going on that I'm not seeing? I ain't see Vince with his shirt off. Maybe that's what I'm missing.
Let me tell you something. And he work out hard. He go hard in the gym, and you be distracted like, goddamn. But I'm glad that I did not take that step because I don't have the soul tie. I don't have that same energy. I can talk about this and be okay. And I promise you, after that interview I saw where he was not honest, when he was not upfront about what was really going on. Oh yeah, Donna was. She was always. It's like save face. Vince is for him. Vince is gonna try to make himself by any means necessary, and that's not the type of character that I'm interested. So I am happy things played out the way they played because now I know who you are. Now I know exactly who you are.
Yeah, because we both were on that chat for that interview that was over there on Crystal XO's channel. I didn't appreciate that he did try to even then I think I wrote it down here somewhere where he tried to say he tried to downplay the fact that he's the one who initially reached out to you. He didn't want to own up to that. And it's like, I don't know why maybe him and Donna are still, in communication. How did you feel even now listening to today's date like that? Because that interview was just yesterday or the day before, hearing him try to downplay it even in this recent time. How did that make you feel?
I felt like when I saw him on the reunion, when he said, it doesn't matter what Lauren thinks, he had just, when he came out and got caught up with the Nicole situation, me and him had just walked out of a confessional together from him apologizing to me. Like, that's the type of stuff I need to see. Like, I would have never guessed Vince would say nothing like that. I don't care what Lauren thinks. So when he got on that interview, I wasn't shocked that he was, she was calling me. You cannot possibly in your whole entire life think that, oh, Lauren called me. So I just felt like if I didn't come or if I didn't take her on that date, she was going to get me. Bruh, stop. Right. Stop it. Anybody with a mind can see. Stop, Vince. Yeah. And the thing is, again, it's like, yes, I could drop some shit on y'all, but this going to make me look crazy. And I'm not even fighting for this man because I don't want him. So it's like, what's the point? I got no dog in this fight. And I honestly, after getting to know both of them, they are a perfect match. I really feel like he needs to settle down and just make it work with Donna, honestly. But he's had a girlfriend since. He's got girls now. What are we talking about?
Oh, wow. And I know this was filmed a year ago, but he had enough time to squeeze in a girlfriend with all this going on.
Mm-hmm. And I believe, I can't say this is true. I believe he was still entertaining Nicole from the day she left all the way through. I do believe that, truly. Yeah.
When Nicole shouted out, because how would it benefit her to say that? Like, she was looking great. Now, I did like when Donna said, okay, you a side piece, basically in so many words, I'm paraphrasing, and you were like, look, he never smelled it, he never touched it. And I was like, she's saying something. She's saying something. But I was like, the fact that he didn't, I'm like, y'all, like, is there a shortage of men in Detroit?
Yes.
Like, why are we
Clearly.
doing this? What?
Clearly.
Men in Detroit? What's going on? Because I feel like outside of the show, would we even be doing all this? But Vince must have been.
I probably walked past Vince 1,000 times at the grocery store. You know what I mean? It took a show like this for me to sit and be like, okay, let me get to know. We would have never seen. Actually, he showed me a picture that he was at the same event that I was at, and I was there with one of his idols, which is hilarious. So it's like, you were there? I didn't even see you. You know, it's like we probably have been around each other. Our kids went to the same high school. She graduated last year. My son is still there. Like, we had so much time, opportunities to. I probably walk past Vince every day.
Right. Never even notice. Woo. Now, see, I don't know. Hopefully, as long as you don't have any regrets, because I'd be like, you know what? Now, I can't believe Donna was saying that she was in love with him. Because if you're in love with him, why did you agree to this open situation? I just didn't like how she tried to downplay and say, like, okay, you're the side piece. Like, nobody's the main, nobody's the only one here. Vince is for everybody.
Vince, I just want to stress the point that Vince left the show as a single man. So why are people acting like, and I got pissed by saying, we know who was number 2. That was petty for me to say that. But in real life, like you just said, there is no number 1, 2, 3. There's whoever Vince wants to date at the time that he's dating because he's a single man. That's what it is. So to try, so it's attacking different people about different things. And that, yes, they did not have heat for Nicole like they had for Lauren, who just went out and had fun. They like, I thought that was so crazy. And let me tell you one other part that bothered me. When Vince and Donna and Nicole were having a conversation together, keep in mind what happens between Vince and Nicole, that's between 2 grown people that decided to do whatever they decided to do. Mm-hmm. To include, I just didn't like, because I was sitting on the couch. Nobody told me they was having a private conversation. So I walked in and I'm like, well, I'm here now. And I kicked my feet up and I'm like, what's happening over here? Mm-hmm. And listen, I could be a little crazy. So if I was really that deep involved with Vince, I would have probably flipped all them goddamn tables over. Like, you did what? But that's how much I'm so not, I don't give up what you're doing, Vince, because you ain't touching this. So do what you want to do. But to sit there and try to have her answer to her, that was weird. So if you cared so much, why are you putting her in that situation to begin with?
Right. The whole thing is just after that, she got quiet when the Nicole situation came. I think she was just so shocked because she was thinking it was just you. You were the one, because she told you, like, I didn't know he was distant because of you. And it's like, it's because he's for the streets.
And then allegedly there's a number 4, but I won't say her name.
Yeah, because I was like, Ashley shopping. He's taking in, at this point, if there was anybody else, I wouldn't come out and announce it. If I was Nicole, I would, honestly, because this is embarrassing.
There's no way if I was Nicole, I would have been like volunteering that information. I took that to the grave. Like,
I'm glad she did though, because Donna was going around thinking like, okay, you just this home wrecker trying to, interview.
How you gonna wreck a home that's not a home though? That's the part I don't understand. Like,
because it's that game he was playing. He said, she did say the words, "I choose you." Now he did follow up.
Process.
Yeah, he did follow up with that. He did. There were stipulations with that. I choose you. The fact that he said, I choose you, people are getting hung up on, okay, he chose her. Because people can say, I choose myself. No one did this season.
But listen to this. This was the key. I choose you in this process. That's what he said. I said, Vince is maybe a little bit smart. Because what about the real life? What about the real world? You choosing her in this process. What about what outside the process? What? That's how I took it.
Anyway, since I'm like, girl, if you got that timeline, you don't want to be with somebody who's for the streets. But I understand if it's slim pickings, you already like them, you already having like you said, a soul tie, there's an attachment. But I'm still blaming your friends for advising you that.
I blame myself because there's no way in hell I ever should have been dealing with events. And that is my biggest regret is dealing with events at this point after he showed his butt multiple times. And I kept saying, I think when you get on this show, you start to, I'm not going to say start to lower your standards, but you start to believe that maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's like, you may be used to something else, but then you're like in this, like, no, maybe this is what I'm supposed to be. And I think you need therapy after the show. And actually the show does provide like a therapist and stuff. Like you get tricked into thinking that this is what and that's not true. You don't have to lower your standards. And I just regret ever lowering my standards with any of the gentlemen.
Do they give like extensive background checks and things of that nature? Okay. Because, and I'm glad they give therapy, but how often are they offering a therapy? Because when I was emotional when it was coming time because you weren't the only one who cried when it came time for eliminations and stuff like that. It's like there's a lot going on that we're not seeing. Like they should have the therapist coming on the scene and speaking to everyone.
Yeah. So let me clarify. just because they do background checks, just because they do psych evaluation, doesn't mean they don't know people got stuff going on and still choose them. You know what I mean? So that didn't mean everybody in here was sound.
That's
You know,
true.
so they know what people had going on, from my understanding, and still.
It's for entertainment purposes. And but the audience does pick up on that because we actually want to see, you know, people who are legitimately looking for love.
Yeah.
Even if you're reaching out to the people, that's why we don't really like that. The audience kind of doesn't like that because it's like, okay, what are you here for? What are your intentions?
Mm-hmm.
But this was a lot. There was a lot missed because the season was starting to get, I said it plenty of times, it was getting a little dry until that reunion came out. And it's like, that's what everything's happening off camera.
That's the real show. It was literally after choosing day, the real show started. No lie, it was crazy.
You were all surprised though, because knowing how Vince was, like, okay, he's playing games with me and Donna. He's telling her one thing, tell me something else. Were you surprised that Nicole was in the mix?
No, so literally up until I met Donna at the coffee shop, my impression of Vince was that he may not do everything right, but he is honest and he is straightforward and he gonna tell you like it is. He's not gonna lie to you, so you know what you're getting with Vince. That's how I felt, and that's why I had a level of respect for him, because if he said that's what it is, if he was with Donna, he would be like, I'm with Donna. Like, I just really felt like up until that point, he was somebody that could be trusted and was very transparent. I know Donna didn't lie to me at that coffee shop. I'm telling you, them eyes was like, and I'm like, yeah, I believe you. So he lied to me.
Because I was feeling like Vince was seemingly pretty honest from what we could see on the reunion. When he said, hey, didn't I tell you, like, we're not exclusive and all that? And she agreed. So I was like, okay, he's being honest, until he had that interview and he said he didn't want to admit that he reached out to you. And I was like, if you don't want to admit that, then what else are you hiding? I mean, we'll never know.
No, but like I said, I don't have a dog in this fight, so I don't need to prove. The world can have Vince. Please have him. Please get him off these streets.
Somebody's gonna say, there's always going to be somebody that's going to be willing to take him. Oh, now, sure. Are you surprised that Bellow is married and that he got married as quickly as he did?
No, I'm not surprised. I knew when with him and Dominique's situation during the process, I said, I see what this is. This is going to fizzle out so fast, but okay, go do your thing, Bellow. It's funny because he told me a few things during the process, and that's why, like, y'all don't see this other side. Like, I did too much too soon. She reminds me of the women who've taken advantage of me in the past. She's familiar. And I'm like, so you go down the same path, you do it again. Like, when are you going to learn from your lesson? He told me a lot of things and things he felt. So I knew it wasn't going to last. I did not know that he had somebody waiting in the wings, ready to be married. Now, about a month and a half before he started getting on that other podcast where they dog people out here in the city, he had a meeting with me here downtown. It was a couple of days after he got on my podcast, or maybe the same day. It was around that time. I said, Bella, are you married? And he admitted, I am married, but he lied to me about the timeline. So once everything came out, I realized, he got married a couple of days after he broke up with Dominique. And he told me out of his mouth, he said, my mom was like, you're done with the show. Now it's time to get on to real life, get married and do what you got to do. So she's somebody who's been here for a long, long time. And now the show's over. It's time for you to do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, because I'm feeling like it was arranged. And then one of those types of situations, she's waiting in the wings. But I'm like, girl, I was like, you had a baby, you on a reality show. Mm-hmm. Everyone said he sounded like a used car salesman. So he was another one where I was like, these beautiful women, what are they seeing in Bellow? Now, granted, I guess he might have been one of the better options out of the choices, but it's like he sounds like he's running game.
Yeah, I knew that right away. I found that out.
Yeah, because we do see things y'all can't see when we're watching the show. We're like, why can't they see that he's full of it? And it's like, well, you're not seeing what they're saying in the lounge or whatever.
Yeah. I think that one of my biggest lessons was that I have not yet grown out of this, where you lock in because you're attracted. You just say, ignore all the other shit. Yeah, you got a baby. Cool. Bring her over. Or I knew I'm a realtor here in the city. I know I know some stuff. So I'm like, yeah. Okay. So he told me something. I'm just like, all right, okay, he'll get there, And so when I start peeping stuff like that, this ain't that and that ain't this. And I knew that, okay, but I'm still attracted to him. Then I saw he had the baby making hips and that big old booty.
Not the baby making hips.
Booty was bigger than mine. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna work. So I stopped being
hips in the Beijing. You was overlooking a lot, sister.
And then at the point where I'm glad we didn't go far, because after the show, like, he literally, I think before, there's a podcast that some of the other castmates have that they literally just sit there and dog people the whole time, including myself for the most. You might as well call it the Lauren Show at this point, because their time to vent about me. So a couple days before he went on that show, he literally had a 2-hour conversation with me, telling me, just explaining things, telling me all the rumors the girls started about me and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, wow. A couple days later, he's on the show, going with them with everything, piggybacking off the stuff they're saying about me. And I'm like, not him. What? One of the ladies? And so when he got on, I don't know if you saw, I think it was like Little Black Book and El Sid's podcast. Yes. When he got on there, and I was pissed. I was trolling that day, but I was telling the truth. Everything I said in those comments, if he was in the comments,
he got on live, but I wish I did.
And when I let him know, when he knew I was in the chat, and I said, what did I say? And he was like, oh, he started to say, yeah, okay, yeah, Lauren, I did call Lauren two-faced. And then I kept commenting, like, why did you call me two-faced? So he called me two-faced because, and this is what people need to understand, they need to keep the lounge private. There's no way to, but if it did, it would be a much better experience for everybody, because they ask you, what didn't you like about him? What happened? So it's like, okay, as we're learning, here's some negative things about Bellow. I question his character because he's sneaking. When Dominique comes around, he starts whispering instead of talking to me out loud. It's like he's trying to not, and it's like, if you're doing that and then telling me something behind closed doors, I'm questioning your character. Of course, they go to him, tell him all this other stuff. So now he's calling me two-faced. So I had to say out loud, am I two-faced, or do people need to question your character? Because you were doing those things. I did not make that up, Bellow. These are the negative things. That didn't mean I didn't like you still, but it does mean those things happen. I didn't make two-faces is acting like this and then acting like that, like he does. So it's like, no, I'm telling you right now, I'm questioning your character because you did do those things, right? And that's what they didn't show in my exit, what do you call it, elimination day. I went off like, don't tell me what no girls who sat around adding more about, you know what I'm saying? Talk to me about the real, you know what I mean? So that I wish they would have showed that real. I went in there with a red outfit and I knew I was getting eliminated. I was like, let's go. And I had to run down this. I ran down the hall and they just showed it.
Like you knew. It seemed like you knew what was.
I knew.
Yeah, especially after I feel like the interaction with his brother, and then it was like the rings on the wall. The two-faced thing. Oh, hold on. Hi, Pamela Rollins. Did Bellow marry the mother of his child? I hadn't heard. I have no idea.
No. It's like a Nigerian woman. She follows me on IG. She's super nice and sweet. Beautiful Nigerian woman, I believe.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We're getting to the questions, Pamela, but this is the platform for Lauren to talk. So
okay, I'm done being long-winded, guys.
No, you are fine. We want to allow Lauren to talk. I did say earlier on, if you're late for just coming in, that I was going to get to the questions towards the end, because this is a space for Lauren to share her story on the experience. This is her time. So the questions, we will get to them, but let's allow Lauren to speak so she can get everything that she has to say out. And why the likes are not matching the amount of people in the room, can y'all please like the video for me? It's free 99. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Now, and a lot of stuff we already because of the Bellow being married thing, the issue with Dominique, it's a lot, because I'm still stuck on Vince, honestly. The Little Black Book panel, when he did call you two-faced, I did appreciate, because I did see it, I caught the replay. Shout out to them. They did call him out and say, listen, you just complimented Lauren and now you're throwing her under the bus. Why do you keep doing that? Do you think that it was all because of what they were telling him, or do you think that he's actually the one that's two-faced, that he's the one who he doesn't want them to ask about him. So it's like, instead of asking about me and what I got going on, I can do what everyone else is seemingly doing, is an assumption, and kind of throw Lauren under. It's like the go-to.
Yes. That's why I refer to Bellow as one of the ladies. It's and then we talk about character, right? Character is Dominique pissed you off, so you came on this podcast to dog her out and to out her and pretend that you wanted to do an interview. And I caught some of that. I think that Bellow is two-faced for sure. I do believe that he is trying to be accepted by these people here in this city. I heard he did. I don't know this part to be true, but somebody was tagging me the stuff on Instagram and saying the city of Windsor, he's bad there. He's bad in Toronto. So now he's in Detroit trying to make a way for himself. And he feels like the group of people that he's with on this cast is going to get him there. So if they're saying, because I literally heard somebody, I would think I was on an interview, a YouTube live last night or the night before, who said the mean girls told me, if you going to pick a side, if you F with her, you the ops. So you think they're not saying that to Bellow? I believe Bellow completely flipped when he's like, this is what they want. This is what I'm going to do. So he sits there and downplays everything, downplays how much he was into me. And he's two-faced. Yes, he is the two-faced one. Devon, I just had a conversation with him because I'm like, Devon, we were cool. What happened? You on this podcast with them sitting there agreeing and stuff? He's like, I was wrong. He said, when all of them are saying it, I just assume it's true. So I'll go with it. And I'm like, that
doesn't make any sense.
Some sassy lady type shit. Darius was on that podcast, right? As soon as they start talking, he said, excuse me, I need to go. That's what I'm talking about. Grown man's gonna remove himself when you hear when this bull and they just Bellow. So yes, he's to me, he's the two-faced one.
Yeah, and even Devon, I'm really surprised. You can't just go along because everyone's saying it. I mean, if he hasn't had that experience with you, then he should be going off of his own experience. We all are all adults. Everybody's grown. But, and did you ever talk to the producer? Because they did put you in your own separate room and all the things. So they had an idea of what's going on. Did you ever talk to them and say, like, hey, girl, what's going on here? Like, I thought this was a safe space.
Mm-hmm. They basically said, like, yeah, we're trying to keep the peace by keeping you over here and keeping them up. Like, I asked right away, like, what's up with that? Why everybody else over there? They like, just,
because it's been going on. They had you sharing a house at a getaway and all the things. And it's like, there shouldn't be that much tension when everybody's supposed to be dating everyone. There was a lot of tension. Now, and I know because people are like, Bella wasn't expecting for you to be in the comments. I don't think that Bella was. I don't think that Vince was either.
Did you notice when Vince found out I was in the comments? Did you feel the pause? Did you feel the...
I definitely felt it with Bella, but I was surprised because he kept walking it back. That was hard to watch. Do you have anything? Do you want to address the people that are in the comments saying Lauren's always in these comments? She's always not in our comments, but in those other comments when they like Lauren's always in the comment section. She's always doing that.
Listen, I can't be in every comment section, but when I tell you this was so fun for me, like I said, I didn't know this community was this big. I didn't know people was reviewing the show. So when I found out, I had started researching you guys before. I think you were one of the first reviews I saw, and it was like, I think when you first got the cast pictures or something, and I was like, oh, this is so fun. Like, I can't wait to hear. And I knew I've been on social media since you had to get an invite on Facebook to be on Facebook. I'm a social media person. So I know you're going to have negative stuff to say, good stuff to say. And so I'm here for just the fun of it all. So anytime, and by the way, I'm doing a lot of editing all the time. I'm on my computer 99% of the day. So if I got YouTube open over here, it's very easy for me to get a notification. Shayna's live about Ready to Love. Okay. And I'm in the chat. Yes, I'm in the chat, y'all. Why I want to know, can I ask them, why are y'all mad about it?
I just want to know. Is somebody, because I mean, why y'all be in the comments? You heard Lauren earlier. She's like, yes, you do. Listen, I don't see the problem. I guess because we're not used to seeing it. So it's like, listen, this is your platform too, in your space. They're talking about you. So it's like, I heard you was looking for me, so here I go.
Here I am. And sometimes comment and then they say, "Where's Lauren? Hey, I'm here." It's funny, like, you know, I am here, but it's crazy because if I was a fan of this show, I would get a kick out of knowing the castmates are in this chat and I want to ask them some questions. Like I would enjoy it, but instead, I feel like a couple people were offended that they saw me in the comments. And I've actually become a fan of a lot of these channels. Subscribe, and I get in El Cid's chats about other things. I'm a member of Kojo's channel. Like I have grown to like I'm a part of the community now, guys. I'm gonna be in all the chats
You are
whenever I
part of the
have time.
community. Even Sabrina Soul was up here earlier. She used to run panels with former cast members that I used to be a part of. It's a thing. It's a thing. So and we need people because that keeps the interest going, especially if we have a season, there's no connections. We want to know why. People want to know. So it's like, it's good to see that, okay, you're interactive. Like I said, you have your own platform. And I just don't know why they would think, like, if you're talking about me and I pop up right when you're talking about me, you can't be mad that I'm here when you're talking about me.
Heard y'all was looking for me. Here I go.
There you go.
And listen, I know Speak 20 said, Lauren, please get therapy. That is on my list. That is one of the top things on my list to do this year in 2026. So I will definitely begin therapy. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to my good sister Amina Sina. Thank you for the $10
chat.
Yes, please hit that like, subscribe, like the video, subscribe to Lauren's channel as well. It is pinned, so y'all can just go straight over there because she does have content coming up. She's discussing some very serious issues that were brought out on this show. So even if you don't, you feel like you felt another way, at least listen, be open to listen.
Yeah.
So Lauren, I'm like, because I was like, did I even get everything? I think I did. Now, is there anyone? Are you still talking to any of the cast members now? Are you still dating anyone?
So again, for the record, I only dated Vince. We ended our friendship. What do you call a friendship that's not friends, but y'all cool as heck? We ended our coolship a couple days before the reunion aired. So I'm cool with me and Ed. We have a podcast. We're good buddies. No relationships there, just cool. I like Chris. I like Steve is cool as heck still. Me and Ashante are super tight, super road dogs.
Someone asked about Cardi.
So here's a funny thing about Cardi, another one of the ladies. I had no issue with Cardi, never did. We've been cool. And then he gets on the podcast with Ina, who is obsessed with me in the very weirdest way and very negative. So once he got with her, he just completely flipped. So I don't like bullies. I don't like mean girls. And so when he did that, he's out of my world. Like I'm done with him. And I got a couple calls from a couple people trying to apologize. And my message to them is, just like you were disrespectful in public, I would love a public apology. So you guys can make your videos, post them, and I'll see it there. But don't call my phone. Bellow, stop calling me. I want people to stop calling my phone and go ahead and post it just like you posted the negativity.
I agree. And I you were reading my mind because I feel like everybody's always saying something like, even when you mentioned Devon, and it's like, oh, I didn't know. Don't tell me in private. Say it in public, like you just said it when you said the other comments. Say it in public because y'all all have gone through something and have an experience on the show, and I'm sure have gotten feedback that you didn't want to hear or whatever. So it's like, okay, at least apologize. Yeah. I don't know what the mean girl thing was about. I don't know why it was even going on or why that's happening. And shit happening.
Did you peep that Bellow in that interview said, yeah, I found out Dominique was a mean girl? Did you slip up and say that? You know what I'm saying? Because of all this is like, is Lauren making this up? Is Lauren being a victim? Like, no, like all these people are secret. And even Devon, he's like, oh, they said some things, but I never experienced Lauren like that. I never saw her like that. But I just, it's like, come on, y'all, listen up and stop.
Him, I don't, because he liked it. He liked when she was assertive, or she was like, oh, come with me. He liked it. So it's like, well, don't turn around now that y'all are on the outs and say, oh, well, now she's being a mean girl. Well, he knew that all along, and he enjoyed it. So don't act like you have an issue with it now. And that I can't really respect. That's just me personally. Now, is there, like, if you could do it all over again, would you?
No, not unless I can be in the editing room, because if I got all the filming, all the tapes, this show would be a whole different show if I could re-edit it, because there were some moments that should have been there. There was moments that didn't make sense to me. The way they painted me was totally the furthest from. They took my most subtle moment. Like they never showed me snapping back, which I'm happy because they like, you handled that good, girl. It's like, okay, thanks. But really, I was like, you know, like I'm not talking to you. Like I'm not here to talk to you. Like I'm just, you know what I mean. So, it just like I did not realize. I thought reality TV was more reality. I did not realize that it was more so the edit.
Yep. This is for entertainment purposes at this point.
Yeah.
But you know, I am glad that she did it and that you are speaking on it. And y'all did a good job, we'll say, for the Detroit cast, because in previous seasons there was the cast members will always do all these interviews beforehand, and by the time the reunion came, it was like, well, we know everything. We didn't even know about all the mess until we saw the reunion, and that I appreciate it. Y'all kept that in for a year. My goodness.
And you know what? You know what I don't understand? We filmed this over a year ago. Everybody knew what happened. How do people just all of a sudden get smoked? Like out of nowhere. Like it's just like some people are just for show, like want to get a spinoff, doing anything to try to like make this a thing. And it's not cool. Where was this we did parties together. We've done like, where was all this at?
Like I've seen pictures of y'all like doing stuff, and it's like, wait a minute, like are y'all clear now? Y'all did a good job at kind of not saying, putting a lot out there until now. So that's, I typically don't like doing my interviews until all the reunion airs, because it's like, okay, you can freely talk about it.
Yeah.
But you have been the most fun person I've interviewed. I put through the questions. I know people were dropping stuff in the comments. Mm-hmm. Let's see what's in the comment section. Oh Lord, I got my glasses on, still can't see. J Luck says, how do you explain being friends with Vince or situationship with him 2 weeks ago? So how were you so friends when he was saying all that foul stuff about you?
So you have to keep in mind that we see the show at the very same time that you all see the show. That's what my main reason for I told him I'm not dealing with you physically until after I see the show. So I just saw the reunion like 2 weeks ago, and then this last Friday, and then now I see what he's saying on these interviews. It's like this is stuff that I did not see or know until just like when you guys are finding out.
Right.
So that's kind of my best explanation for it.
Yeah, because even when you're saying you're on the reunion, you went back and dated him, and I was like, I have to keep in mind she's not seeing everything that we see. So
I didn't see all that.
Thank you for subscribing, Styles by P. I appreciate that. There we go. Christine asks, how much time was between that last regular season episode and the reunion?
I think we wrapped November 2024. Reunion was March 2025. Around about that time.
Okay. So now, and then we find out Bellow got married within that time. It's like, what? You broke up with Dominique on Christmas Eve and married somebody New Year's Day? My goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, I didn't realize it was in that close proximity. I mean, and I wish they filmed the reunion too early for me. I'm kind of glad they did this time because so much happened. Mm-hmm. But I've always wished they waited so that way y'all can see everything and speak to what you actually saw.
I'm at first I thought that too. Like, why didn't no, it would. I don't think the reunion would have been able to happen. That's how much heat people have for each other. Like, we wouldn't be able to have a reunion. I promise you, because y'all didn't even see when I got there was a scene where I almost got eliminated. Darius took me on a date and I didn't get eliminated, but he was about to. And they asked me, so how you feel? I'm like, I can't believe. And I was going on. So I'm glad they cut that scene. So even when Bellow eliminated me, I'm walking out like, we done here? All right. And then cameras start following me. Bellow start running. I'm like, stop. All y'all stop following me. Like, it's like those moments is heated. Can you imagine me seeing this whole episode coming on that stage? Like, Vince, you got me. Like, it would have
this entire time. Everybody's been saying you've actually been too nice. So I think the people wanted to see you snap out. Styles by P said, let's not act like Lauren needs therapy. They all need therapy. The reunion was proof that all the ladies and men need therapy. I agree. We all could use some therapy, even me.
I agree.
But it's like, are you going to apply what you're letting now? You can't just go. For the people that are talking about therapy, people actually have to apply what's being discussed.
Yeah. I want to apply it. I'm definitely going to seek therapy and apply it. After filming, I was not good.
Yeah, because this is a whole nother experience. Even though we all know how editing works and all the things, going through it is completely different than just hearing about it and having knowledge of it. So I can only imagine how much that will weigh on you, and hearing all the feedback, and you're like, wait, you don't know the whole story. People don't care. They're gonna go off of what they saw. So I can only I'm glad they did offer some therapy.
Yeah.
And Pamela said all of the men all seasons act like they're in a candy store and can't make a decision to lock in early. I suggest they allow them to pair up early. The men can't take all their options lock in. I think they should. For me, I've always been saying they shouldn't do eliminations. They at the end, I think everybody should just pick who they want. It's so competitive because of those eliminations. And I feel like, okay, well, now it's like, all right, let me try to get her out of here. That's why everybody's pillow talking.
Yeah, exactly.
So much of that lounge, having to keep the lounge in the lounge and all that, that wouldn't be a thing because or wouldn't be so competitive. And I could see what you're really on. Who do you really want? But since all these eliminations are happening, I feel like now it's just getting really cutthroat.
And inauthentic. And I do believe all three of the guys, from my understanding, felt like they wish they had not have locked in immediately because they did too much too soon. And now the women are like, no, I don't want you after you doing whatever you was just doing. So it's
right.
Yeah. And then you don't get to know them. You just locked in and you don't even know what they got going on. It's like, I don't know.
And they used to eliminate people. When people were locked in, it's like, okay, they're locked in, you get eliminated. And I think that's why people are waiting until the last day. And it's like, I still got these two connections. Like with Bellow. Like, it's like, why? What do you mean? It's obvious who you're going to pick. Even though you know in real life, you're not even going to pick her. So it's like, this is just crazy. That something in the formula does have to change, though. I don't know what, but something got to change. Pretty Pania said he thought that he could say whatever he wanted to both of you because he never thought y'all would ever talk and compare notes. He didn't know. Well, he knew y'all went to the same coffee shop. I guess he said y'all ain't seen each other yet. He said y'all ain't seen each other at the coffee shop yet. You ain't gonna see each other now.
I think he just did not care.
Brick Axel said them calling Steven emotionally unavailable is crazy to me. That man guarded his heart, performed a little somewhat, but he seemed reasonably mature. I don't think that he was serious about looking for a love connection now. Like on paper, you did actually make more sense with Vince. So we're just going off paper. Y'all both have kids. It just, Vince would have made more sense on paper. So I see why the friends were kind of leaning more towards him.
Yeah, they didn't show any of the good parts of that conversation. Just the bad part.
Like, because I was surprised. I was like, the friends said they like him. I was actually surprised. But I feel like, okay, listen, Steven is not making sense. He wants kids. He's not really ready to settle down right now. It's just,
listen.
So I was like, Shannon made more sense to me.
Listen, and in theory, you would think so until you understand who Shannon is as a person. But Steve was telling me he wanted a baby. He was telling Donna she gonna have his last name. He was telling Ashante he was gonna take her all over the world. Steve was just over here just selling us some dreams, y'all. So.
I believe it. I feel like all the men were. I think Devon was trying to. Nobody was going for it. I think they all thought they had some game until they realized they didn't. If you watch the Christine podcast, Dom and Shannon were all throwing subs towards Lauren. Now, why would Shannon be? I have never seen that podcast. I don't know where.
Girl, please don't watch it. You're gonna lose 10 brain cells. You're not gonna be able to come on here and speak clearly. I want to address that real quick. I never had an issue with Shannon, ever. And somebody sent me a clip of that because I won't watch it either. It's disgusting. And she was making accusations, basically saying that, like, I didn't know she had heat towards me. Like, throughout the whole process, I feel like she barely existed. Like, me and her just wasn't, and I would have a little small talk with her, and she claimed, and this is what I don't like, the way that she held, I don't know if you know about the Devon situation where he exposed his what he going on, and she threatened to expose that about him. You would think these women, being professionals, being in the medical field, like, you wouldn't play with somebody's personal information like that. There should be limits on things. Now, here's what I don't mind. I don't mind people telling the truth about me, running around talking about what really happened. But when you start to make up things, you can say like whatever, negative stuff. But when you start to spew defamatory statements, I'm a businesswoman, okay? Shannon was claiming that I'm a colorist, that like I have an issue with brown-skinned women. That pissed me off. I legit had to I had to make a few calls, like, you know, because to just, if you don't have nothing else to say about somebody, except let me make some, maybe she don't like her, like, do your research. Like, that's sick. As a professional to a professional, that type of stuff can affect my business, my money. Like, I have 3 children.
Right.
Like, that's like, I didn't know Shannon was like
that. Why she said that? Did she back it with any reasoning? Yeah, that's
my thing. Give me some text. Support that with something. You can't just say things like that and not have no, you know what I'm saying? No, they just talk over there. They just talk.
Yeah, because we don't want to start throwing that around, because then if it is happening elsewhere, then it gets ignored because people are just using that as a go-to. And it's like, I didn't see anything that would, I'm surprised. I'm honestly actually surprised. I didn't know Christina had a podcast until Vince mentioned that she had him up. So I'm like, I haven't seen anything over there. But of course, Styles by P said, look, she's agreeing with you. She's like,
really?
Yes, is exactly that. I haven't seen it, but hopefully, you don't want a podcast that's just full of negativity. Hopefully they can kind of change the trajectory into something positive. Linda Dominique, 1985. Question, Lauren, you're my favorite ready to love person. Keep doing you. But my question, why did you have your own changing room at the reunion? Who was responsible for that decision?
I'm assuming it was the choice of one of the producers or maybe a couple, but it sounded like there was some heat coming from all the ladies, and they wanted to keep us separate for, I don't know, maybe they just want us, our only interaction to be during filming so that they don't miss anything. But there was obviously something brewing, and they didn't want me and them together.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering, I can't say. I was like, maybe they requested it, but I doubt it. It's just now I feel like that's causing more tension, because now you're walking in like, I know something's going on. You did. So instead of them, they should have nipped that in the bud before it ever got to that point. Like, we shouldn't be in this at this point.
And here's the thing too, what I don't respect. All those ladies had my phone number. Just like I reached out. Me and Ashley had an issue before I had to reach. She tried to dog me out on. I had a friend. I had a meet the best friend girlfriend date with ex-girlfriend with Bellow that they cut out. Me, Ashley, Bellow had that date. She started making like, I had my time to answer questions to the ex. I'm trying to get to know Bellow through the ex. She starts asking questions. You know what her questions are? Do you think a woman with children would slow you down? Do you really want to take on responsibility of having children that's not yours? Like, and I'm just sitting here like, I'm like, wait a minute. Ashley, do you have kids? And she's like, no, I'm like, oh, hell. This, of course, like stuff like that. Like, it's just like,
yeah. I'm surprised because he has kids. So it's like, look, that's not really a dig.
It's like, to even dig at a woman for doing the thing that a woman does, procreates, has children, is crazy to me. So it goes along with that mean girl. But anyways, I called her because she never called me to apologize. So I had to call her, and I said, we squashed it, is what I'm saying. She apologized. We squashed it. If I ever had any inkling that there was an issue, I called the ladies. Why haven't any of the ladies called me? Why hasn't anybody tried to reach out and say, why has Shannon never said, I think you don't like me because I'm brown? Like, why? I don't know. Like, why hasn't, because there's no merit. What could you call me and say? Hey, I'm getting ready to just start some shit with you because I just want to, girl. I also think a lot of projection is happening. Is it you that feels some type of way because you feel like, oh my God, can I just say this real quick? There's a channel that I hate that I ever supported it. Totally biased. It's always, Lauren is this light-skinned girl that thought that she was going to come in and just get the guys, and she ain't got to say nothing, and she ain't got to have no personality, and she not smart, and she think because she cute. That's called projection. You think I'm cute. You think that Oh, because I'm light skinned. Like, I really feel like it all goes back to like, oh, kindergarten. I like this guy, and then he liked this light skinned girl. And so let's flip it. Shannon, you don't have a problem with thinking I don't like brown skinned women. I think you have a problem with me because of what I look like, which is an issue that you need to go unpack. It has nothing to do with me. So I didn't appreciate being called a colorist. But anyways, all right, let me stop because I'm long-winded and I'm gonna stop talking.
You know, especially if you haven't actually done anything. Now, if you did something that warranted her saying it, then cool. But you know, right? And I just because all and you are cute. All the women. The women are beautiful in this cast. That's why I'm surprised that there was some cattiness going on because it's like, hey, and I'd like that everybody look different. We don't want everyone looking the same. So I'm glad we have variety of Black women on the show.
I thought everybody was gorgeous when I met them. I felt like it's a candy shop and you can get this one or that one and they all are successful. They're all beautiful, smart. So I was shocked. Just because somebody looks beautiful, that doesn't mean that they're not all the way here. Okay.
That's
like
true.
At all.
It's true. Sorry. Because you don't, yeah. And it's like, and then we don't, because we're doing that, and it's like the focus should just be on trying to get to know these men. And seeing if these men are even worth getting to know.
Because like, do you like me, ladies? Because I'm not, maybe in a year or two I might get to that point, but like I'm not there yet, ladies.
I'm still trying to see what's in these streets. That deal said, did you and Ashley have problems during filming? I do just want to put this out there because I was supposed to interview Ashley. She was very sweet. She was very kind to me. But it's a completely different situation when you're in this competitive environment. So did you want to speak? Did you want to speak to this?
Yeah, my issue with Ashley, of course, she was the sidekick to the main mean girl, but my issue was trying to downplay me, the quality of being with me because I have children. I think that was unfair. And again, we talked about it, but the mean girl energy stayed consistent the whole way through. So I don't have respect for Ashley or any of those girls. So I don't say I had a problem with them, but I feel like they had a problem with me, which then in return puts them in a certain space with me where I don't necessarily have to agitate the situation, but I don't give it energy.
Right. And I hate that happened because y'all squashed it. Like, I just wish it kind of just stayed there. Especially on this show, bringing up the women have children. I don't know. I was like, at least you went back and rewatched the show. She didn't watch the show. If anybody, a lot of people come on, they don't watch it. You got to watch it. That's what this show is for. It's for people in our age group who are parents, people are divorced, people are that's why we need something like this for us. That's what this is kind of about. So you're going to come across people who have children like Darius has 4 of his own.
Yeah. And I'd like to add, because, you know, since she want to be all in my business, a lot of these people, again, like I explained earlier, they have a dad. I'm not looking for somebody to come and be my kid's dad. Now, obviously you would be, but like 9 times out of 10, you'll never meet my kids. No guy's ever met my kids. They only know their father. So it's like you worried about the wrong stuff and you're not even in the relationship. That's the craziest part.
And and the whole time we're like, hey, but see, they cut that date out because I was like, I only saw you and Darius go on that one group date. So then it's like, okay, you had another interaction, but and then she saw you calling. So I guess she was thinking like, is there something going on? I don't know. Darius should have cleared that up for her so she felt comfortable.
He should have, but that's between them two.
Yeah, that's like I agree. That's for him to clear up.
And at any point that Darius felt like, Lauren, you shouldn't be calling me, I would have respected that. Like, hey, Ashley doesn't want any of the girls from the show calling me. I would have never called him again.
Yeah. And it shouldn't even get to that point. Like, it's really a shame. Because like we've all felt we don't have any issue. You didn't want Darius. So like there's no reason to have a problem. Oh, yeah, one more. I'll ask this last question. It says, I think anyone with eyes could see what the women were doing to you, but has Donna apologized to you for what she did, knowing she lied to the viewers and trying to shame you?
Donna has not apologized. And after seeing her actions of what she did on the show and lying to Dominique about me dealing with Bellow, I don't think that her character supports her apologizing. And if you also pay attention, I don't know if you could tell with editing, because the whole time she was addressing me on stage, I was looking at her. she would not look me in the eyes. She would not look me in the eyes at all. And when a person can't look you in the eyes, I guess, obviously you're lying. So it's hard to look a person in the eyes. I really highly doubt I'll ever get an apology from Donna. But honestly, I don't need one because, life is getting these people back. I don't need to get these people back.
Yeah, I don't know why she went and said that you were messing with Bellow. Like, if y'all have a thing about Vince and she had an issue with that, I understand. But it's like, you don't need to involve anyone else. Like, we just keep it with what we got going on.
Even creating the narrative that I stalked her to her coffee shop is insane. Like I have time for that. Like, you even matter that much, or just have time to, I'm gonna wake up at 7 a.m., hop in the shower. By the time 8 comes, she's gonna be walking in the door like, stop.
Right. Both can't like the same coffee shop. And it's like, okay, I get it. Because it's like it's
one of the most popular coffee shops in our city, number one. So it's not like a secret that you found in the corner. It's the most popping coffee shop here, It's crazy.
The issue was really that her issue should have been with Vince, because if she felt like Vince owed her something, then it's like the issue is really with him. If that's the person who owes that, then that's the person who you should have an issue with. So I think when we get to arguing, especially when it has something to do with the man.
Yeah.
Like,
do you remember the comment she made during the date with the ex-girlfriend, where she said, well, she said Vince liked to argue. Well, why don't you stop? It takes two. Why don't you stop talking to him? That told you her personality right there. She's not holding Vince accountable. It's going to always be somebody else. But what can you do? That's the type of whatever.
And that's why you can't really be in these situations, because then you get, once the men find out how much you're willing to back them up, they're going to see how far they can push it. And that's what he did. Because it's like, really, you didn't owe her that. Vince owed her that. So I hate that. It's like, all these women, y'all are too beautiful to be sitting here doing all this over these men, and nobody's with these men now. So at the end of the day, all of that for what?
Yeah, I'm embarrassed. I'm waiting on my wonderful billionaire husband. I hope he don't see that I dated Vince and be like, girl, please. I'm trying to erase that off my credit report. That never happened.
Be like, it was a scripted series.
I don't know what I was thinking. I was literally like, oh, he's so cool and funny.
I'm still wondering what y'all found funny, but I digress. Okay, J. Lux said, last question. You said just how you told Vince you would not be intimate until the last episode of the show a few weeks ago. So you were dating. What specifically happened?
We stopped. I never considered talking to Vince after that, dating when I told Donna I'm going today to break up with him. I didn't ever I was explaining earlier, there's a difference between being cool with somebody and dating somebody. I never looked at him again in the way of like, he's going to be my love interest, or anything like that. So yes, we have gone to the sauna. We've had lunch. Vince is a good time, y'all. Like, I've gone to dinner. He's popped up at some pop and shop, whatever situations. But like, as far as like spending the night, kissing, being together, we've never been on that level. We did not, I would not call with us seeing each other from time to time dating at all.
Okay. Right. And it's like, or if y'all hanging out as friends, and dating is just that. I think people like automatically like, and not saying that you are J. Lux, I'm just saying in general. Like, it's like they hear dating and it's like, oh, well, we're going to be sleeping together. Oh, we're being intimate. And it's like, sometimes you're just dating. Like, you're just that's the point. You're supposed to be getting to know the person. And if it doesn't work out, then it's like, hey, that's what dating is, in my opinion.
I think that also when we talk about projection, and not saying this is J. Lux, but a lot of the viewers assume like, you can't be just cool with somebody, or you can't just be just friends, or you just can't enjoy the company of the opposite sex. Not everybody is leading with sex. Not everybody is, I don't know if I can say that word. Not everybody cannot control themselves because they're around a person of the opposite sex. I have mastered that. I actually prefer male friends. I like having men as friends. Girls are just very crazy sometimes. I have a good solid core group of girls, but I like friendships with males.
Yeah, see, the only thing I have a problem with is some of those males, given opportunity, they would sleep with you.
Not some, 99.9%, but it takes two though. So as long as you have your bound, they can do it. They can want to like you all day, but if they can control themselves, then that's fine. Some that can't, you can't deal with them. But there's some that will hide, you know, and still be friends. But it does take two. But you're right. The minute you call them crying, talking about, oh God, Jimmy messed up, they're there for sure. I agree with you.
Now let's do this. Is there anything that you heard, like something that you heard about yourself that you wanted to address?
Just I think there's a misconception that I wanted to come on this show to make it to the end for, I don't know what y'all think making it to the end means. Like, you don't get an extra check, you don't win anything. I feel like if anything, I got off at the perfect time, the episode before you got to pick somebody, because everybody who picks somebody's relationship is in shambles. So I think the misconception of just me, and then me being thirsty, like, if you guys knew the type of people that I dated, this is laughable for y'all, to anybody, to assume that I'm thirsty over any of these guys on the show. I do know how it looked. They didn't show all the times guys said my name first. They never showed all the guys like Lauren. They never showed none of that. But that's a misconception that I'm thirsty. You know, just and anything that they're over there saying on the P and the D, Piss and the D podcast is lies. It's all, there's no merit to any of it. None of it. Start asking for, like, show us something. They can't. That's it. And then I literally went on here. I'd never played a game like this before, but I did it it was my first time dating multiple people. I did it the best I could. I stayed consistent with the same people. And I mean, I don't know what else. And I like being in the chats. Okay. I like being in the chats.
Listen, I'm in the chat on the shade room too. So if it's a chat, I'm there. This is like speed dating on crack. So it seems very, very intense. I think you handled it well. You did a great job, representing yourself. So, because at the end of the day, look, no, it doesn't seem like you said, none of those relationships worked out. So you dodged a bullet. Seemingly so. They did you a favor by letting you go when they let you go. So it worked out the way it was supposed to. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything special going on now? I know you have the recap lounge, you have your channel, you have a lot going on, actually.
Oh, yes, exactly. Because I'm lit in real life, guys. I'm talking. So Ed and I are trying to figure out what we want to do next. I personally don't see myself recapping a bunch of shows. I only watch this show because I was on it. I don't really watch a lot of TV. I like Game of Thrones. I watch that every year, all 8 seasons, every single year. And I'm doing the new Game of Thrones, and I'm doing Bridgerton. So I'm about to go do that tonight. I am a licensed realtor in Michigan, but I service Southeastern Michigan. I do have realtor partners all over the country. So even if you're not in Detroit and you want something, call me. I do, sales, investments, buy everything. I also just started so first of all, I started YouTube maybe like 10 years ago, and I ended up quitting because I had to get to real life, right? So after getting on the show and hopping in these chats and finding out how much fun this is, I have decided to revamp my my YouTube. So I've been on there. I have a new series called Access with Lauren, and it's inspired by the things that I went through on this show. It's going to be a safe space for women. I call it the space for the girls, the good girls, like the ones that you can come, don't have to feel judged, don't have to act like you got it all together. It's a safe space for us to have conversations that people don't typically like to have. So my first episode was about mean girls and bullies, pretty privilege versus pretty punishment. And bullies like at our big age, you know what I mean? Not like, you just wouldn't expect women of this age to be so quick to try to get together and try to tear somebody else down. So every Wednesday I'll drop an Access with Lauren episode. Every Sunday we're going to go live and discuss that episode. So we got a good panel coming up this Sunday to talk about the mean girls and bullies and all that stuff. And just to give you a heads up, I got some really cool episodes. I got a YN friend. I don't want to say what that means, but you guys know what that means. Like a young man who wants to come. And I want some older ladies to hop on this because y'all gotta hear this type of stuff these young men be talking about and saying and asking, and the way he be gaming people up. I want to have that conversation, like us dating these YN. Let me tell you one thing he said to me. He said,
I'll be on the panel with you in a minute.
Let me tell you what he said to me. I always get a kick. He said, just because the wrapper is wrinkled don't mean the candy ain't sweet. Like, so he always says some crazy, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta get you. We gotta have an episode about us dating these young men. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun conversations, and yeah, just follow me on all my channels. I love content. I love connecting. I will say this. I've had to. Do you know how to block people on YouTube? Is it just hide user from my channel?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I think they can still see you, but they can't comment.
Oh, perfect. So I have like 313 people blocked on my Instagram right now. So if you come over there with some bull, you will get hid from the channel. I don't mind discussions or even having difference of opinions, but when people are just downright disgusting and nasty, that's not the space. My channel is not the space, guys. So keep that in mind. Don't come over there with the BS, because I have no problem hiding my channel from anybody. So anyway, yeah, so follow me on Access Lore, subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate you for having me on this platform and for keeping it so entertaining. And I love your personality and your point of views on everything.
No, you've been great. I definitely appreciate you coming, especially given that you have your own platform. So thank you for even taking the time. It's much appreciated. And I will put the links down for everything. Try to get your Instagrams and all that. I know you have a few, so I want to make sure, because I gotta get the realtor one, gotta get all of them. What people are interested in. So make sure that they are telling a friend and tell a friend. Word of mouth still works.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm sure the men want to know: are you still single?
I'm single and not ready to mingle. I'm so I joke like, yeah, come get me, but really, I got to go to that therapy first, like they was telling me I need, because I have relationship. I feel like PTSD. I'm freak. Every time somebody talk to me, I'm like, you lying. You're not gonna be like this in 6 months. You're terrible. I don't not right now, guys. I will send my Cash App though.
You're mad at it. But and one thing that you're already 10 steps ahead of the game. You don't mind taking accountability. So if you know something about yourself, you don't mind. You own it.
I own it. That's all I can do.
Oh, happy early Valentine's Day. I forgot. Happy early Valentine's Day, everybody, for all the lovers out there, everybody who's ready to love.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day to all of y'all. Any last words you want to say before you go? I think we covered everything.
Yeah, just have grace with these people who have decided to put their lives on the line and are at mercy of the edits. And I'm glad that you all were entertained. And I probably won't watch another Ready to Love, but thank you for having me.
They're going to Chicago. I feel like that might be. Would you be willing to review? I know you said you don't really watch much TV. Would you be willing to recap like Love is Blind or one of the?
I like Love is Blind, but I don't know. I don't.
We're done with the dating shows altogether.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
You're like, I've been there, I've done it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, it was so nice to have you. Thank you so much. And like I said, I'll be over there. I'll be in your comments, and I would love to support you with what you're doing. So
thank you.
Definitely do that. Everybody, like the video on your way out, share, tell a friend and tell a friend. She dropped a lot of gems in this interview. We appreciate y'all. And everybody have a good night.
Thanks. Good night.